Hello, and welcome to Endangered Species, the finale, the final episode of this wonderful mini-series. There is a game of Mothership by Tuesday Night Games, a tabletop role-playing game by Tuesday Night Games. I'm so excited, I can't actually get words out. So, but who am I? I am Vince Hunt. I will be the Warden / Games Master for tonight's Chaos, Carnage and Adventure. And I'm joined by 4 wonderful players who have been amazing through this whole campaign and I'm sure are going to entertain us all this week. First off, she's one of the cast of the main series of Safe Space. She's playing someone very different this week, and if at the end of last episode was any indication, she knows all about making friends. It's Lizzie Boyle.
Oh God, I'm so scared.
Which is good. This is survival horror, and we're all scared in a good way.
I'm just scared of the intro. I'm like, oh no.
Oh dear. Don't worry.
It's gonna be fine.
It's going to be fine. Look, it's good to know that with an intense game like this, you've got wonderful players around you, and who better to be side by side rolling dice than Sarah Millman.
Hello. Right.
Back again. So Sarah, you're so bubbly, and yet you're playing a
robot.
A robot. I love the fact that in this game as well, people have really they keep calling it a robot. Mind you, one of our other players tried to make Buckazoids a thing in a previous episode. That player was Eliot Red. Hello, sir.
Hi. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I'm not. I can't take credit for its invention though. I did not come up with Buckazoids. That is from the old Sierra Space Quest games.
Look at that.
That's where Buckazoids comes from.
To anyone involved in those games, don't be concerned, because Buckazoids isn't a thing in this world, and already I've crushed one of Eliot's dreams. So
yeah, sure.
Well.
I didn't hear that my brother perhaps mentioned he might also make sure that they were in canon thing in your games as well. Don't worry, it's fine.
Hold on.
Nepotism.
That's going to go really well for him. Okay. And fourth up, Sarah's already concerned. Fourth up is the one and only man known as Matt Troy.
Nanu.
Don't worry, he's not really an alien from space. He's a human man with flesh and blood and feelings.
Blood.
Aren't you? You are, aren't you?
Yes, I'm love blood.
Okay, don't be concerned. But if you are worried about it, and just leave some comments in, just below. Just let us know who to talk to if you're worried about him being an android or maybe a lizard from another planet. Speaking of lizards from another planet, there's quite a few of them in this game, and this is a survival horror game. So over the next couple of hours, don't be surprised if there's a fair bit of intensity, some action. There could be some gore, unless they roll really well and everything goes off without a hitch. That could happen. That could totally happen. But there may be moments where the action may get a little bit bloody, a little bit scary, and my descriptions might be a little bit gruesome for some. If that's not your sort of thing, then feel free to pull the ripcord and leave now. Thank you for listening so far while I absolutely ruin this introduction. But yeah, it could get pretty intense this week for everyone involved. So, and just bear that in mind. If ever you're running a game of Mothership can get pretty dark and pretty serious based on the sort of campaign. I know we've had a lot of laughs and fun here, but there is also pretty intense stuff going on. I have, of course, talked to my players about their lines and veils and what's too far, and they've so far been okay with it, or been surprised at how far they want to push it, and they're all pretty scared that I'm going to do something horrible to them this week. So we're all doing something right. But speaking of which, I think with that, enough of this rambling. This is the finale. You want to know what's going to happen to all of these players and what's going to be left of them.
Characters.
Oh yes, characters. Your characters. No, yeah, not the players themselves.
Yay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Okay. Don't worry, Lizzie. You're fine. At least from me, you're playing wonderfully. It's the rest of your players you won't worry about. But we'll find out what will happen on this week's episode. Bless you, Sarah.
Sorry, I tried to mute myself.
You did mute yourself, but I'm considerate. But it may not be now that we start the finale of Endangered Species. Last time, within the corridors of the science outpost Linear 7, our group of Marines continued to try and figure out what was going on and the best way to get out of the very bad situation they were in. They discovered a badly damaged android named Isaac, who gave them the grisly details of what had happened in the outpost shortly before the Marines arrived. The majority of the staff had been attacked by the same creatures that the Marines had encountered, and now there were only a couple of survivors locked safely within one of the sample storage vaults. Harper, the resident android, connected to Isaac and used her tech skills to download whatever research data she could from him. She also hacked her way further in and found that the scientists discovered the remains of an ancient ruin on the surface of this planet, and when they tried to reveal more of it, may have inadvertently awoken the horrors that were to come. Lucky stuck with the team radio operator workbench, who managed to get through to the Armorsite cruiser to call in an evac dropship. An extraction point was given to them, but it was going to be a trek. Lucky stayed upon the comms tower and observed the ongoing movement outside, figuring out his best course of action. Meanwhile, during all of this, Vigorous Blouse was left to his own devices and spent his time focusing on trying to fix the all-terrain rover so that a possible retreat would be a speedier one. It may be their only way of getting out of this alive. If that wasn't stressful enough, he was certain that creatures were outside, testing to see if they could find a way in. Harper found an artifact that had been retrieved from the dig site on the planet, and as she was studying it and collecting relevant data to take back, JACKAL, who was until this point the leader of this mission, caught sight of it too. It seemed to affect him in some way, and Harper was forced to order him to the other side of the compound to calm down. As he did so, she grabbed the artifact and wrapped it up for safekeeping and travel. Shortly after this, one of the alien beasts that Isaac had trapped within the water sanitation station before the Marines arrived went berserk and began tearing its way through the doors that had kept it prisoner. The Marines moved as fast as they could and got the remaining scientists out of their makeshift panic room, although they were clearly panicked themselves, and there were only 2 of them now left alive. As the team made to escape, Harper devised a plan. When the creature finally broke through the door, she lured it into the chamber that had previously kept the survivors safe. A seemingly lifeless body was in there, and as the monster began tearing at it, Harper locked it behind another set of doors, these ones even thicker than the last. She also made sure to keep hold of the artifact that may be of interest to it as well. Meanwhile, Vig forged on and fixed the vehicle. Just in the nick of time too, as the rest of the survivors, including a freaked out Jackal, came together to try and escape before the situation became even worse. Escape was also on the mind of one Frank Lucky Day. Seemingly using the rest of the group as a distraction, he began to make his way towards the extraction point, alone. His journey did not start off well though, and shortly after he entered the thick of the strange alien jungle, he stumbled and fell. Dropping his smart rifle, he was stopped in his tracks, down on the ground. And in that moment, he waited to see what was to come. And that's where we pick up our story this week. And we open on the dark alien jungle. And Lucky, your smart rifle is probably 5-10 feet away from you as we speak. You rolled over on your back, didn't you? Are you flat on your back currently in this undergrowth?
Flat on my back, holding on to this thing that's on a chain around my neck, which is a key, and just staying very, very still.
Okay. And you can hear like the storm. There's no more like sort of lightning storm or whatever, but it's dark and you can hear the pitter patter of rain hitting the leaves above you. You can feel it on your face, and you're just waiting for a moment. And in the distance, you think you can hear the noise of something, probably about 50 feet away from you. What are you doing? You just staying completely still?
I am staying completely. This is so exciting, this episode. I'm just going to lie. Do nothing. I am staying completely still. I am remembering also that whilst in the control tower, I had deliberately rolled in what we think is like alien poo. Slash vomit.
It's a secretion.
Secretion. There you
yeah.
go. That's the word I was looking for, not poo.
Yeah.
Alien secretion. So I'm hoping that is sufficient to make me not the juicy, tender steak that they might think I am otherwise. Okay. So I'm just going to lie there, really still, and wait for that sound of movement to go away.
There's a moment. And it begins to get a little bit closer, you think, and then you hear, even over like this light rain, there's no thunder or whatever, you think you can hear something happening in the distance from within the compound, some sort of sound that starts, and this creature all of a sudden, like the noise sort of stops, and you hear something sort of turn in the sort of fresh mud that was probably now only 20 feet away from the foliage you were in. As it turns and begins heading, it sort of begins sprinting away back to where it came, on all four legs, towards
the buildings, or away into the woods.
Yeah, you saw some of the creatures heading round the side, which was, as you saw on your map, where the solar panel system is. That seemed to be where there was a congregation of them. This it seems to go around that side.
I will count to 20 in my head, because that would be really, again, dull role playing. I'll probably get it wrong anyway.
Real.
It's the finale. Let's go it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Extended
Ooh, it's all
edition. Let's
happening,
go.
you know? 6 hours of a man counting whilst lying on the ground in a forest. It's going to be
Literally 6
amazing.
hours to count to 20.
Each number carries a memory, Sarah.
Yeah.
I remember the number 1. It was important to me. My Life by Frank Lucky Day.
Oh, gee.
Mother was so kind. When I feel that it's moved far enough away, I'll get up and I'm going to start sort of crouch running. Push the crouch button and the run button.
Yeah.
And
You do that. Doing the
sort
crawl.
of up and away. So northeast to get away from the thing, and then I'm going to turn eastwards, which is towards where we think the
Yeah. So you're heading
point
into the
is.
thick of the patch of jungle that is between here and the extraction point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you taking your rifle with you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to pick up the rifle, and Lucky picks it up and then begins moving quickly through the undergrowth. I imagine like Willem Dafoe in Platoon, you know, when you see him like just moving really quickly through the jungle. Meanwhile, back in the outpost, Harper.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. What have I done?
You hear nothing coming from the storage chamber that this creature was in. Not even just before you shut it in, this thing sort of pounced, and as soon as the door went boom, you can't even. It's completely sort of soundproof, this thing, but you know it's solid. You know, you gather this thing's locked away. You even lock the door pretty quickly, and you have with you, wrapped in, I believe, what was it? Was it a jacket or is it one of the tarpaulin sort of things in your?
Yeah, it's tarp, I think.
Yeah. And you have this stone, this strange alien-like stone, which in your hands, it still feels, there's an element of cold to it. It's very strange, but you don't get any other sense of anything right now. And what do you do?
I'm going to shove it in my bag, but in a place where I can easily ditch it if needs be.
Okay.
And then I'm literally just going to wait for a second to see if the door, it's holding, everything's fine, and then I'm booking it.
Okay.
If I was going to head towards where the car is coming from, can I swing by the offices? Sorry, because we haven't got the picture of the map.
Right. Yeah, I'll take you to the outpost itself.
Yeah, the outpost. Sorry, not brain. Yeah, I want to. If possible, I want to swing by where Isaac is and scoop up what remains of Isaac.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
What?
It's all about being recycled. It's a bit of a waste. Leave him there.
Oh my god. Didn't think about it like that. Recycle, people. Save the planet. As your
Harper is made of recycled things.
Yeah.
So this is always like.
As you're moving like fast across the sort of lab dome towards the sort of southwestern sort of door that's there, you do see there was the sort of station that Isaac had with all of the screens, the monitoring screens. You saw. I think I briefly mention it before that you saw the cameras where he was watching the station before, and it's not like there's not cameras on everything. There was just in certain places. For instance, there is, you can't see the maintenance workshop, for instance. What you can see is the camera feed in the solar panel chamber, which is the one he said he was monitoring when he saw things going down.
No.
You know that door is locked, and you can see it sort of flickering slightly, and you see like almost like a field. I mean, it's a biggish chamber. It's like a field of these solar panels in like almost like a greenhouse kind of thing, and you can see the cracked hole in part of it that Isaac described, which is where these creatures must have gotten in. And you can see there are several things in that chamber. Could you roll me a d5, please, Sarah?
Oh, great! I love it. Which one is the D5 again? I get very confused.
D10 and half it.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Actually, no, this would just be a straight d10. Actually, just give me a d10.
Oh, well, it's a 4 anyway. So.
It's a 4. Brilliant. There are 4 of these creatures.
That could have gone worse.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
oh boy.
There are 4 of these creatures in there.
And then
There's 3 at first. There's 3. No, there's 3 at first. And then you see another one appear from the hole and enter the chamber.
Harry, Mark, Jason, and Howard. Robbie left.
Never. Don't make me kill you now, Lizzie, in the game. Because if I do,
Because it's Robbie Predator who's outside now. Robbie Monster's outside,
Yeah.
so I'm about to get squished by a monster that
when
I've
I
named
deal the
after
final
it.
blow, I'll go, take that. Anyway, right.
Hey!
There you go. That's it. The game's over. Bye, everyone. No, and you can see creatures, these creatures moving, like they're sort of. You can't see. They sort of head underneath where the camera's facing, and somewhere in the distance of this, somewhere in this outpost, you hear something banging against the door. What are you doing?
I'm booking it. Isaac is in this room, right? Or what's left
Isaac
of
is not in this room. Isaac is outside of the offices. He wasn't in the offices. He was just sort of led outside the doorway to the main office chamber.
It's en route though, isn't it?
You'd have to sort of double back a little bit, pick him up, what's left of him,
Okay.
and then drag him. Because you are, if I'm just going to ping this map, just say where you are in this sort of station. Do you see that? See where I pinged?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go.
Isaac's there.
Like,
His body's sort of there, if I remember correctly. He sort of
yeah.
he shut down shortly after you got together with High Noon and everything. So you would need to go back, pick him up, and then travel, which you can do. What would you like to do?
I want to book it.
Okay. Can you give me a speed check, please?
Shit, 'cause I'm so fucking speedy. Of course. Ay. Right. Please. I want to save my droid friend. Ooh, 38.
Okay.
And I have 42 as my
Okay.
speed.
That is a success. So you begin running, and you find like the crumpled, just absolute torn apart, torn asunder torso and leg. He's in one piece. He's not like Bishop from Aliens, but you know the middle of him's pretty messed up. But he's sort of lifeless and just sort of. Yeah. Now,
Sweet.
are you gonna fireman's carry him, or are you gonna drag him?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and
His head.
find.
Hey?
You need to take all of him.
Well, as much as you can carry. I mean, you know, use all the buffalo, right? Sorry, that was super dark.
Oh, that's the title of this episode.
No, I want to try and revive him in as many pieces as
Okay.
originally possible.
Okay.
So yeah, if I can fireman's lift the entire.
Yeah, you can pick it. I mean, he's
Yeah.
I mean, he's a like 6'2" sized man, so it is like dead weight. But you're an android, so you lift him up, and like the blood is now the android blood, which I'm just gonna call it blood from now on. Is now just like just coating. It's slightly seeing that, and put him over there. Could you give me?
Fear safe?
Yeah, give me a fear save, please.
Alright. Keep on rolling, baby. See what time it is. 14, my fear is 83. So.
There's no real sense of your own mortality, and seeing this doesn't really. It's just he's parts, so you're picking him up. He's salvage in some sort of way. Who knows if there's a little bit more to that Harper's thinking at this moment in time? But she picks him up and begins I mean, she's carrying a lot of stuff. What weapons have you got, Harper, right now?
Nothing. I haven't got anything. I've literally just got my trank gun.
So yeah, because you don't have a gun, do you?
No, I gave it away.
You did, didn't you?
I can't remember who I gave it to. I think it was Lucky. Question mark?
No. No, I don't have a trank gun.
No, I have a submachine gun, and I gave it to.
Oh, submachine gun. I've got a submachine gun.
Yeah, that was mine. I gave it to you because I thought you would stay with the team and you know, have everybody's backs and shit. But
took your gun and ran away.
Yeah. I mean, it's in safe hands. Lucky didn't drop that when he fell over, so he's still got it.
Nobody seems to have noticed that I'm, you know.
No, we've had some stuff to deal with.
Lucky did message and say,
true.
Yeah, he said
I'm keeping an eye
they're
out
on
from
to
the
me.
tower.
Go. Yeah, he did make it seem like he was going to try and hold them off. I believe you. In fact, Lucky did say, "I'll hold them off as long as I can." I believe you said something like that, Lucky. I believe.
I probably did.
Just to really season that steak.
I never write down what I say.
Oh dear.
If only there was some kind of like recording.
If
or
only
record.
we had somewhere to check it.
Yeah. Who knows?
Okay. And Harper, you begin moving as you're moving closer towards the maintenance workshop, and you are beginning to get encumbered because you also have this bag with this stone, which isn't like. I don't believe I said it was super light, but it's not really super heavy either. But it is. You've got a bag of kit, and you're carrying an android, so you are. And the closer you get to the maintenance workshop, the louder the sort of noises become. And when you reach are you heading the direction towards the entrance and then across to the workshop, or are you heading in the direction of the power station and then down? Just
probably to the entrance.
Cool.
First.
So as you head down, as you take that right and head down, the sounds get a little quieter.
I want to give the solar panels a bit of a light.
Yeah.
You know.
But you know exactly where that sound's coming from, and you know exactly what it probably is. You also did notice that in all of the creatures that you saw, there was one particular one that wasn't there. Back in the the maintenance workshop and the main storage, where there is a fixed rover that VIGOROUS has gotten working, and the engine's like boom, 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 boom. He's behind the driver's seat, and this is an all-terrain rover-like vehicle. Pretty heavy-duty, sort of thick wheels. It's not a massive thing. Think of like a golf cart on steroids. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. And it has a trailer, a pretty all-terrain trailer that is going to move quite well. But the rover itself can only fit 4 people, and the cart can only fit 4 people. The cart that's usually meant for bringing back samples or like rocks or things, so it's pretty heavy duty. You know, it can carry 4 people. But just so I know, if we treat it like two boxes, right? The first box is the rover, and the second box is whoever's in the trailer.
It's just punnet squares. Is that what we're doing now?
Yeah, pretty much. Lovely punnet.
Yeah. So, how are Chen and LaRue at the moment?
The 2 scientists, the surviving scientists from this outpost. LaRue is freaking out. You know, he's the one that almost hit Harper with an axe when he was let out of there, because he's like, let's get out of here. He's sweating. You know, he's pale faced, and you know, he's properly in panic mode. Chen is as well. I would say, you know, there's no role for it, but you can look at her and you can see there's trauma, but she's less. She's just I'm amongst people that have machine guns. I feel a bit better. Let's get out of here. That kind of thing.
Okay.
But where do you want to? Who's getting in what part of the vehicle?
So Vig's driving.
Yeah, I'm in the front driving. How is the boss? How are you, boss? Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm I'm really shaken up, but I think in this moment, I think adrenaline and being back with members of my crew and having now rescued the scientists, yeah.
Seating,
Yeah, I
seating
think,
plan wise, I would say that Vig's sort of in the middle of this thing. This isn't a left and right seat. He's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And there's sort of like 3 individual sort of seats with belt buckles behind him.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Well, I'll just be in the front with Vig, probably on one of the window sides.
Left or right?
Cool.
Let's say left.
Okay.
So how many seats are in the back of this thing?
So Vig, you're sort of central. You know what I mean? There are consoles,
Right.
and you've controlled it like that. And there's sort of 3 seats directly behind you.
All right.
no,
Okay.
Actually, probably I would say 2 wide seats, and then like a 1 sort of tucked right at the back, like a
big
diamond
seat.
formation. If we imagine we're in a diamond
Right.
formation.
Okay. So I'm just gonna.
So behind you
Ruins
to your
my
left, over
diagram.
your left shoulder is Jackal.
Right. Okay. So I've got me in the front. Got Jackal on shotgun. What side is he on?
Left.
Left. It's over your left shoulder.
Right. Okay. And I want to put Tank in the back
Okay.
so he can cover the rear if needs be. As Workbench is probably not going to be anywhere near me, I want to put Workbench with High Noon in the trailer with the 2 scientists.
Okay. So you want High Noon, the 2 scientists,
And workbench.
and Workbench in the trailer behind.
Yeah.
And you want Tank
The
at
NPC bus.
Yeah, and the tank is at the back of your particular vehicle, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about putting all your players in one basket.
Okay. It's at that point as everything's like sort of, and, you know, shortly, it's good to have targets. As this is going, and like someone does bring up the fact that like we need to get the door open for the maintenance, the workshop itself, which is, as I said, it's almost like a large sort of, not garage doors, that's the wrong sort, but it is a sort of, someone's going to get out and have to press the button and then get back in the vehicle, or you pick them up as you drive out. As this is being said, Harper arrives in the doorway, and she's carrying someone. She's covered, like her right shoulder is covered in gore. I would say that.
Oh, Robert.
I would
You're
say.
gonna get Robert juice all over my truck.
I would say there's part of like. I told you it's going to get icky, people. The insides of Isaac, his stomach and stuff have been torn apart, and where that's been torn apart has rested on Harper's shoulders. So you can feel the metallic spine on your shoulder, Harper, as like the back of him is sort of like dangling behind, and there's just gore. And... as you enter this room to a scientist screaming, "Get us the hell out of here! Get us out!" And there's another one sort of sat there, sort of rocking backwards and forwards.
Can can High Noon tranquilize the crazy one?
She can. She can. Would you like her to do that?
Or does he want cigarettes?
Cigarettes isn't going to do it. This is the man completely. If you want to tranquilize him, there's no roles for that. If you want her to tranquilize him,
Boss man, do you want me to shall we tranquilize this crazy guy? Just half.
No, not yet. If he's causing a problem, then yeah, we'll put him out. Just see if we can calm him down in a sec. We need to start moving. That's the priority, not stopping this fellow in the back of the truck.
What are we going to do with the robots project? We bringing that?
Harper, I don't think we have room.
as Harper approaches the rover, gets closer to it, Vig, you hear the engine go like it just got a boost of power. Just like a
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh. Is that robot doing something to this thing? With his
Oh.
roboty antennas? What's going on? How can we find out?
I just pick up the stone. It could be the stone.
What do you do? What do you do? Harper, you've currently got half.
I'm jumping on the car.
Right, okay.
I'm trying to rush.
So Harper gets on, and Jackal, she just drops like an android corpse, just on you.
What the fuck?
Could you make me?
Oh God, no, not on him. I'm trying to when you've got a load of like luggage and you're trying to fit in a really small car and you're shoving it by your legs.
To any androids watching this, we do not consider you to be luggage.
I for one welcome.
But you're do you place him?
Yeah. I'm not gonna throw
Yeah. And Tank's yeah. Tank's like, what the fuck, Harper? Is this? And then as you do that, you're not in the car. Are you in the car yet, or what? What did you want to do with that stone?
I'm gonna look at my crewmates and be like, I have the stone. Do we take it or leave it?
You have the stone?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
Vig, you don't know what
I have no idea.
Vig, you don't know what she's talking about. But you remember
Harper,
Jackal saying, "Did you see the stone?" Yeah.
I'm suspicious because I'm from the rim. I'm suspicious of weird stones, bits of seaweed, like flying
Fucking
orbs. I don't like
we'll
any of that
discuss-
shit. It upsets me.
As crazy as it is, that it needs to be secondary. We need to prioritize getting out of here. Harper, can you open the door before you get in the car?
That's really okay. She's just gonna nod.
Yeah. And you head over.
Make sure
Use
my
your robot
little
speed.
friend, my robot friend is still safe.
Yeah, yeah. So he's sort of tucked around and folded. It's not pleasant. It's not like he's sat in your seat, Harper. His eyes are wide open, by the way. It's very unnerving.
Ooh.
You don't have to make a hacking check, Harper. But if you just want to give me an intelligence sort of computer check, just to get in.
Sure. So that's D100 again.
Yeah.
And what was that? Sorry, computers. did you
Yeah,
say?
just
No,
computers. You don't have to
intelligence.
hack into this system because it's a basic button system, but this is more to sort of
So
gauge.
that's plus 10, right? Yeah, that was. Oh, so at 52, my intellect is 52, so it would be 62. So.
You're like, what? Oh.
So
Look, we've had a tough day.
and it takes a little while, but eventually, like with like these massive sort of doors begin slowly opening up. There's like LaRue's like, let's go. And you see Chen at one point, she goes, shut the fuck up, LaRue. And Workbench is, he's getting his gun ready. Tank's pumped his shotgun. And when Harper walked away from the vehicle, by the way, Harper, did you take your bag with you? Did you take the bag with you?
Yes.
Okay. When Harper
Experimentally.
when Harper walked away to open the door, the vehicle was going. As she walked away, it went. And when she gets back, it goes. It's almost like it's got an extra kick.
Hey, Hopper, I think the truck likes you.
Trucks don't have emotions. I do believe it likes the stone, however. And she's gonna take the stone out of her backpack, and she's gonna hold it so that she's ready to lob it if needs be.
Is it still covered?
Yes, it's still covered.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure that she's on standby. That if this stone's gonna be more trouble than it's worth,
Okay.
if it's gonna endanger the lives of the humans.
Yeah. And you're sat next to Jackal with this thing wrapped up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, cozy.
Yeah.
Hi.
So,
The doors are open in front of you, Vig. You can see the dark of the outside, but you It's there.
I can just go.
You can just go.
Am I feeling powerful because the stone is in? Am I feeling like this is a good thing for the truck?
I would say you're feeling more confident because the truck feels like it's got good fuel in it. You know, it's like, yeah, this thing was... You feel better about the job you did fixing it. It's like, fuck, I am good.
So I'm just gonna drive out there at a reasonable speed, not too fast. I don't want to like flip it or anything.
just a little boodle boodle. On your left, you'll see the Jurassic Park lot.
Faster than like a speeding person, slower than a speeding rocket. I don't know. I'm going at a reasonable speed. I have to get out of here first, and then
Yeah.
then I'm gonna floor it.
Yeah.
Wait, so Lucky didn't make it out then? And I just look around the car and in the trailer. Yeah, but we didn't even see him make it to the workshop.
Nah, he's pretty lucky. You can always catch up with us.
That's true. He was definitely the luckiest of all of us.
He did tell you to go on ahead.
Did
right?
tell us to go on ahead.
Even so, it's a bit irresponsible to leave him.
It feels wrong, but it's too late. We can't hold
Big
off any
puts
longer.
his foot down. And
Yeah. And the with the smoking tires and the whole thing sort of begins barreling out. The scientists grab hold of everything. Everyone begins grabbing hold of something, and we cut
seatbelts.
to the jungle.
Right, Lucky. How you doing?
Lucky is booking it. Just you can feel like the wet leaves smashing into your face. Brance is scratching at your skin. Could you roll me a D10? Please,
No. 7.
7.
That's a bad number, isn't it?
You're moving through, and you can see you got your eyes locked forward, and because you do so, and it's dark, it's still dark, your foot catches on something. Could you give me a strength check?
Oh, I don't know which of these I trust. Strength check. Would my athletics and or my military training and or my wilderness survival help?
Wilderness survival, yes. Athletics, yes.
So I'm trying to get below a 59. Oh, that's an 81. Serves me right, doesn't it?
Okay. As you're moving and you feel something wrap around your calf, like it's almost like it gets caught in undergrowth, like you just ran through a rose bush or something, and it's just, and you begin to tumble. Could you give me a body save, please?
Does anything help with that?
No.
No. So failing, trying to get a 31 and getting more than that would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling a 66 would be
It is a
particularly bad,
critical
wouldn't it?
Fail.
Never leave the party.
Which means, could you give me a panic check, please?
Yes.
And it totally makes sense. I love the way in tabletop games that the dice just continue to tell the story for you.
And these aren't the ones I've been using. These were randoms from the
Okay.
bag, and I
Okay.
don't trust any.
Make the panic check. Hold on to the number right now. I'm just going to tell you. As you sort of fall down and these vines are sort of wrapping around, you see that it is sort of like thick vines that have just caught you. And the more you move, the more they tighten, and they've got like these horrible jagged thorns on them. And they get in between some of the plates of your armor. And it is agony. And you're sort of stuck in place. Oh, it's a critical failure as well, isn't it? I've just noticed something I wrote. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
You take, because it's a critical failure, you take you will take 10 points of bleeding damage. This is maximum because it's a critical fail. Normally you have the armor points in Mothership, and they've all got armor and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So normally that would take off this. I would say, because you're not being hit in the chest, your armor's still 7.
Okay, cool.
You've still got 7 points. This sort of
just
wrapped around
take the proper damage.
it got underneath your check. And so you can feel it like digging in, and there's also a burning sensation as you. The more you struggle and the more you panic, because you do panic, the more it tears at the skin. What did you get for your?
So I should increase my stress.
Yeah.
Because I failed a thing, so my stress is now 8, and I just rolled a 3.
Okay.
That's bad.
Okay. This is just jumpy. You gain 1 more stress. Thankfully,
Jumpy. Jesus.
Thankfully, you're on your own. Because that
Yes.
condition means that all crew members would gain 2 stress.
Ooh.
Cool.
Oh.
Yeah. But you are in. You're in. It's going to take another strength check to try and get out of this.
Okay.
Unless, that's if you're just trying to pull it free. What would you like to do?
I will. Why have I got such rubbish equipment?
You've got SMG.
I know.
Too soon.
Too soon, yeah. I will take out the monkey wrench that I gathered from the maintenance workshop and just try and kind of lever the things.
Get it in between.
Yeah.
Try and
don't want to get my hands dirty. Just try and prise it open a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Then I would say make a strength check with advantage because you're using something to try and. I would say also with
athletics.
With the critical fail as well, you screamed out when this happened.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Which I imagine someone would do if something like this happened.
There you go. So I was after a 44 and I got a 22 and a 6. So
oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you managed to pry this thing out, and you can see as you lift like the monkey wrench. The monkey wrench is covered in gore, but it's your own blood, and it's a little bit unnerving. But you managed to just sort of get this. You see the vines themselves begin tearing, and this sickly sort of pus-like colour as you tear them open, and you manage to stand up. But your leg's badly wounded, but you can still stand on it. But it is bleeding. What do you do? Do you move on?
Yeah, I'm going to keep moving.
I'm going to move us to the planet map, just so we can see kind of. I've got to map out 2 journeys. When the wonderful Roll20 catches up. Okay, so you're just gonna keep on trucking. Have I moved us all there? Yes, I have.
I'm going to keep on trucking. I'm going to. Still got like a good lump of marijuana. Because it was described as a brick when we discovered it, and we only had a short smoke.
Yeah.
So I might just like have a little chew, but I'm going to break a bit off and kind of rub it in the blood and just kind of leave it there. And put the rest in my pocket and just keep running.
Are you saying you're stuffing marijuana into the wound?
No, I'm covering it in blood. I'm trying to leave a kind of lure so that the monsters will go, oh look, there's a bloody kind of something there.
Nice.
That they might. So that's my kind of, you know.
Get the monsters high.
Well, maybe.
So.
It's like catnip.
Now,
always use the stuff that the GM gives you.
Yeah. I just.
And then I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to hope that that's enough of a pool of blood that it's more interesting than the little droplets that I might leave.
I just marked on the map where that first thing occurred, Lizzie, just so you can see that this is where Lucky
And my kind of pathway.
Are we heading to here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is hang on.
You can feel free to mark
Yeah,
down.
right.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah. Feel free to draw on the map where you want your travel to be, by the way.
I want to be basically. I'm kind of parallel
Okay.
to where the truck goes.
Okay.
Shortest path, but staying relatively parallel. But they can't see me.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them, but I want to be able to hear maybe the truck.
Okay. There'll probably be a moment where you don't hear the truck because you're booking it.
Mm-hmm.
But as you've dealt with this thing, and you do take a moment, and like with all those things that you said, you think, is that lights you can see in the distance? But back just out, and we'll catch up to that point in a moment, because the rover kicks through dirt, and Vig is behind the wheel. And you're concentrating on driving, aren't you, Vig? So this will be a piloting check.
Oh, I can do that.
Now, because he's a very good driver, I'd imagine. Now, there's 2 checks. You can pick one or 2 checks for this one. I'm going to get you to make a couple of checks on the way. There's going to be a strength check or an intellect check. Now, depending on the terrain or what you want to do, I will ask for one and then I will ask for the other, if that makes sense. So you can use one now for the first part of the journey. Would you rather?
Okay, so I'm considerably stronger than I am smart. I've got 45 strength and 36 intellect. So if I was a gambling man, I'd say this is probably the better time to use the weaker of the two, because it's going to get worse, I imagine. Can I also include anything like my military training or industrial equipment in this?
I'll allow probably military training. I will allow that.
Okay, so that's an extra 10, right? So I've got to get below 46, yeah?
Yeah. Do you have rimwise?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a +10, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'd say it'd probably be more rim-wise rather than military training, but the same.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Which ones am I rolling?
D100, so you need to get underneath whatever your score is.
Okay, so these guys, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's definitely not a 6, is it? I got 93.
Oh.
Take a point of stress.
Okay.
At least it wasn't double.
You are, yes.
Yeah, thank God. God damn! Don't roll a critical fail.
As he bursts out of this structure, those at the back, who are none of the players, think they hear something smash further in the outpost. But Vig pilots it out, and he just turns it, cranks it to the left, where the sort of path, there's a sort of jungle path, and you're heading towards there, Vig. But you're not used to this, you're not, even though you're struggling with it, and you're trying to get used to it, and the power, you didn't expect it to have this much go.
What is going on with this power?
Yeah. I would say that you're struggling with this. In the rest of the vehicle, like, it's a really bumpy ride. As you turn back, as some of you sort of turn back to the outpost, and you can see something big stood on the top of it.
Oh, fuck.
And it's just sort of, once again, it's Jackal. It's almost like an echo of something that happened before, as this huge beast with its tusks watches the vehicle sort of from his viewpoint. It's wobbling as it's heading outwards, and it's still sort of watching you. What do you do before you? And Vig is heading towards like a. He's heading out. But he's concentrating on this. What are you doing at this moment in time? Other creatures have not appeared out yet, but this thing's watching you. It's out of reach. Don't worry. It's not like it can't claw you.
Okay. I'm gonna. Am I able to communicate with anyone in the trailer?
Oh, it's an open top trailer. Like everyone's screaming. So.
Okay. Am I able to like, look back and try and talk to one of the scientists, maybe LaRue, see if they can calm down now that we're moving? I guess they won't because there's a giant fucking monster behind us. But
let's see if I would say because it started making noise, that was when LaRue noticed it, and he's like, and he thought you would expect him to scream, and he doesn't. Almost like he's. It catches in his throat.
I want to like try and get LaRue's attention, just at least to get him to look at me and just go, like, hey, can I talk to you for a goddamn second? Just 1 second, please.
Why you want to talk? Get us out of here!
We are on our way out of here. While we're on our way out of here, you could provide some assistance.
What?
I think you should use smaller words, Archer.
Get us out of here!
Okay.
You took this moment
Harper,
to talk to the one that was panicking.
Harper, if you want to trank this one, feel free. I don't care anymore. And I'm gonna take out. What do I have? Smart rifle.
Okay, you've got the smart rifle.
Yep, I'm gonna take out a smart rifle and take a shot.
You're gonna take a shot at.
Yep.
Okay then.
Oh yeah.
So as you're getting further away, and the range.
Yep,
is,
it's gonna
like,
be on in this rickety ride as I'm looking back in a vehicle.
Ride, so it's not going to be a simple roll.
No, I have military training, firearms, and command. I have.
The command, I would
some
say,
stuff.
military training. You can use that. You can use firearms.
Yep, cool.
Command won't work for this.
Nope, that's fine. That's
But
fine.
give me a combat check with disadvantage, as this is a weapon that's meant for steady aim. You know, it does massive damage if it's stationary.
Okay, so I'm adding 25 from my skills
to your combat roll.
on my combat.
So roll it twice.
Yeah.
And give me the higher number.
That is 47, and the next one is 45. Yeah,
Woo!
that'll easily do it.
Okay.
My combat is currently 44, and that's
Okay.
before I'd added the skills that I would have put on top. So.
Okay. Could you roll me 1d10?
Okay. 7.
That's times 10, so that's 70 points of damage. Could you give me a body save, please?
Oh.
Okay.
This thing is two-handed and heavy, and if it's not braced and prone when firing, body save, or be knocked down. But you're in a moving vehicle.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I like that mechanic, though. 33, but my body's 27.
I'm behind him. Can I try and...
You're not
Oh,
behind
I
him.
just-
Tank is
Oh,
behind
yeah.
him. You're
Oh,
to the
just
right.
Grid.
No, I'm behind him actually. Tank is.
Oh!
Yeah.
No, you're in front. You're in. Yeah,
You're in front.
Yeah, you're in front. Yeah.
Right.
you're
Right,
in
which
front.
direction?
I would hope you're at the front.
All right. This is how we're looking at this, right?
I'm shooting at the creature which is behind us.
Yes.
You're at the front
Yeah,
of the
so
vehicle
I'm
driving.
behind him.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. So he's behind him. Right.
I'm driving.
Yes. Which, mate. But
dear.
look, that's not going to affect your driving, Vig. That's not what he has to worry about.
What? He's not behind me. He's at the front of the vehicle.
No, but
Yeah, but you're facing the other way.
you moved
behind.
backwards because this thing's so powerful that
Ah,
you moved
I see.
backwards and you lost control. So
But I thought I was pointing in the opposite direction.
You're pointing
Because that's where
behind.
the creature is.
Yeah,
Yes.
you mean-
You're pointing behind. So when you turned round, Vig's behind you instead of being in front of you.
Right.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
when it
I see,
bounces
I see.
back
Right.
and hits you.
But you're not.
You're
You,
like,
you're not going to bump into Vig. Look. This doesn't matter. What matters is what did you roll?
I rolled a critical 33.
shit!
Now, was that a critical fail?
Yeah, because my body's 27.
Could you roll me a panic save as you tumble out of the vehicle and drop the rifle?
Can I try?
Panic save a d20?
Yep. Yeah. Whatever your stress is, you gained a stress from failing that save, by the way. So add one to your stress.
Shit. Okay, well that just took me up to 12 and I got a 12.
You meets it, beats it. You're right.
Okay.
You don't panic, which is amazing because you've just fallen out of this thing.
Amazing.
And
well,
you hit the dirt with a splat, and the smart rifle tumbles out as well. Vig,
but I hit the shot, right?
You hit the shot. You like, yeah. You're pretty sure you saw a massive spray of blood before the world turned.
Awesome.
Vig and Harper, he's out of the vehicle, and the vehicle's moving on.
Slamming on the brakes. Everybody,
Yeah.
brace yourselves.
No way.
As you
Really?
Jump out.
as the proper skid, it's like Dennis Nedry on Jurassic Park when he skid, you know, that sort of. Oh God, Harper, make a body save.
Okay.
Vig, you're.
What is my body? I don't know.
This is going to be. Oh God,
What
Vig, could you give me another
Yeah.
piloting check? Same thing again. This would just be strength. This won't count as one of your checks. This is just the
Just pure strength, yeah?
Can I
strength.
add anything
Strength and
to
your
body?
piloting. Strength and your piloting.
Strength and piloting, okay.
Can I add my combat training to my body? Really? I'm so squishy.
I'll allow it because you're bracing.
Okay. It's still only 29.
Because
I'm gonna-
Vig shouted out
Well,
that this was going to happen. So
13! How did that happen?
yeah, you brace yourself as this thing.
Oh! I was like, there's no way in hell. My body is 19.
Vig, what did you get?
I got 44.
What were you aiming for?
Is this my strength?
Strength plus piloting.
Oh, fuck yeah. So piloting was plus 15, right? 'Cause it's it's basically 60 then.
Okay, so it skids. It properly skids, and the trailer buckles somewhat, like, you know. But Harper, you hold on. I'm not going to roll for every single NPC. They hold on. Tank sort of tumbles back as well, but he doesn't fall out. And Jackal, you see, like, about 30 meters on, this thing skids to a stop.
I can't believe they stopped. Oh,
And there's an almighty howl that comes from behind you, back where the outpost was. You're a decent amount away. There's a
just wanna,
howl
like-
of pain and anger.
not taking my eyes off the truck, but I hear the howl and I just go, oh, does that hurt? Does it fucking hurt?
Can I be like, as a lance?
You're not looking back then, Jackal. You're not looking back.
No, I'm just keeping my eyes on the truck, just like maybe standing up, I assume, getting
Okay.
out of the prone that I've been put in.
Yeah.
And yeah, just aware that I'm hearing this howl behind me and going, yeah, fucking take that.
Who's closest to in the truck? Who's closest? To
The people in the trailer are closest to where
Yeah,
Jackal
right.
is.
I think we need to get Workbench and Tank laying down some suppressive fire, and I think somebody needs to shout zigzag at Jackal, because we've all seen that bit in Game of Thrones, right?
Okay. Just so you know, Lucky, at some point you heard a loud gunshot from from the sort of rifle that you recognise, and you can see these lights sort of in the distance, and you saw it stop. It was moving, then it stopped.
Lucky did a quiet little kind of kept running.
So he's running on. He is running on.
His inner monologue is like, yes, thank you, you fucking idiot, thank you. I don't know which one of you it was, but I thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Lucky, could you give me?
Little fish.
Could you give me another? What check would it be? Probably
Betrayal.
I would say maybe an intellect.
Betrayal check.
An intellect check, maybe.
Intellect.
I mean,
Would my military training help me?
When you're moving forward, how do you want to do this, Lucky? This all depends on the check. So obviously you've seen
Right.
that's a distraction. How do you want to move forward? You can add your military training and your wilderness survival because you are literally in it.
Yeah.
But is he just barreling forward, or is he?
No,
going to think
there's
about where
some
he's going?
kind of thoughtful movement. So not just kind of charging through, but actually kind of moving quickly but gracefully.
Learning from his
Hopefully.
mistake that he had before when he
Yeah.
was barreling through. Okay,
Yeah.
so that would probably be an intellect check.
So intellect plus change. So I'm looking for a 58.
Give one to check.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's an 8.
That's an 8.
Yes.
A bit of confidence, and you're moving through. You even see as you pass by some more of these vines on the floor, and you skip past them, and the leg burns. It really stings. But you're moving forward. You are not held back this time. However, back at the rover. Okay. Jackal, you are looking straight ahead. Yes?
Yep.
Now. Okay. Do you want to the rest of the party? So you're going to try and make it back to the trailer, yeah?
Since they stopped, yeah.
Are you? The gun is further away. Do you want to go for your gun?
Nah, I got others.
Casually. Okay, so he's going to try and get up and move. Did you want... So to Harper and Vig, you're in control of this little bit. Do you want tank, workbench, and high noon to start suppression? Just firing back. And I will tell you what you can see in a minute. Okay? Because they will start firing. Okay.
Is High Noon able to do anything to stop the scientists freaking out while Workbench and Tank fire back?
She could trank them. She's got... Yeah. If you would rather her shut them up and knock them out for this...
Should we just trank LaRue and keep Chen? And
I've
then...
already expressed that Jackal doesn't care if you trank them, so you don't need approval from me. You can just do it
I
if you
don't
want.
know. You might need them to like make active decisions.
Okay.
Possibly.
They're not panicking so much that they're like falling out of the car.
They're not falling out of
That's
the car.
okay.
They're not holding you back at the moment. They're just
No,
there.
exactly. I don't see why.
No, they are completely incommunicatable, though.
Okay.
No,
I mean,
but,
they're normal
but
people.
if
Do
you
you know what I
say,
mean? They're
hold on,
civilians.
we're going over a bump, they
Yeah.
can
Okay.
hold on. Do you know what I
Let's-
mean? Like, if you
Marines.
trank them, and someone's gonna hold them and gonna like cart them around.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Like,
Change the
when we
nappy.
stop-
Yeah, I get
exactly.
it.
And like, and when we stop, what are we gonna do? Someone's gonna carry those two chumps. Like,
That's what we got tank for.
Okay. Let's get.
I'm already carrying Isaac.
Okay, what are you doing,
Ain't got
guys?
no hands.
What's happening?
We'll get the Marines to shoot back to cover Jackal's escape.
Okay, then can I get 2 combat rolls? These are one from these will just be straight D100 rolls. One from you, Sarah, and one from you, Matt. This is just for the Marines firing backwards. I won't tell you what they're.
48.
48.
25.
25.
Yeah.
As SMG fire just lights up the sky, and you can see this, Jackal, as you're moving towards. You see the Marines just pick up their guns and start firing. They're in the zone. One of the reasons they're firing Jackal can't see this, is there's the big thing that's on the top of the outpost, and 4 creatures burst out and are sprinting in your direction, and that's where we're going to go to break. So,
Oh boy.
Yes.
join us.
Yes.
We're going to take a 5-minute break while this is fantastic. This is everything I wanted and more. We're going to see what happens in the second half, but before then, we just need to calm down. So, see you in 5. And welcome back. The tension is already high. Everything's kicking off. And I need everyone to roll me a speed check
Oh,
Holy shit.
for initiative.
oh,
This
great,
this
I love
this
it.
will not
Everyone?
everyone.
Do we get any kind of bonus?
No, just a straight off speed check because this is just an initiative order to figure out where things.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
This
Yeah.
this does not. This means that you do not get you don't get stressed from this. This is merely a turn order for one of
I will never.
Okay, let's take some.
Harper will never join the fight.
I think I'll be going first.
Okay, right. Let's start from my screen top. Lucky, what did you get?
Appropriately enough, 93.
Okay,
Just gonna let it play out.
okay.
Before choosing a side.
Harper, what did you get?
75.
Oh dear.
Oh, no. She wasn't looking. She was looking the other way. She was
Jackal,
distracted.
what did you get?
5.
Could be very important. Vig, what did you get?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how this works, but there are double zeros, right? Is that double zero, or does it just make my 1 into 100?
It would be a success.
Oh,
Okay. 100 in Mothership is always a success. 99
Oh,
isn't.
sweet.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But it's always a critical success. So
God, so
with that, even with your 5, Vig's going first in this.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Literally the best possible other than 0.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then, Vig, you can see there are 4 of these creatures bounding towards the vehicle, and they're heading. Just to set up the scene, they're heading directly towards where Jackal is, and they're sprinting. They haven't gotten there yet, but you know what their intention's going to be.
yeah.
What would you like to do on your turn?
I've got 2 options I'm considering. I'm either gonna pull up my pistol and start shooting too, but I don't think it's got the range. I don't think it's got the range.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I could just turn this tractor around and just try and run one of them over.
To do that would take a bit of time to turn this in this terrain. You would
Okay.
you would know. I'll give you that for free with Rimwise. You are not turning these things. They're currently, in terms of ranges in Mothership, there are sort of 4 combat sort of ranges. You have close, which is obvious, nearby, far away, and out of range. These things are currently far away, which means they are about between 50 and 300 feet. If they had guns, they could shoot you, but they don't.
Can I ask the robot for its advice?
That, yes, you can do that free, but then there won't be much time afterwards. Just bear that in mind. If you want
For my advice.
I mean,
the engine's still
sensible
revving and
thing-
it's ready to go again.
the sensible thing to do is just to stick to my original plan and wait till Jackal gets back whilst the Marines shoot at the monsters. But
If you want to hold that action, I will allow you to do that.
okay,
If he gets back, you floor it.
yeah,
It's my turn next, so
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the most heroic action, but it might be the most sensible.
You just like adjust your mirrors.
Okay. Mirror signal.
Hanging in a little smelly tree.
little air freshener here.
Yeah. Okay. And you look back and you see.
Change the radio station.
Yeah.
Get your motor running.
He only sings space songs.
No.
Oh, that really just took the wind out.
Highway.
Jackal, what are you doing? It's your turn. As there is gunfire like behind.
Yeah, no, I am.
You hear a
making
scream.
my
You
way
hear a
back.
scream. Someone may have hit something. Jackal, you're too busy concentrating on. So one of them may have hit something.
I am making my way back to the vehicle as carefully and fast as possible, but also trying to avoid the bullets that are flying in my direction, presumably.
You are kind of off to the side. You're at like diagonal, so you can. Are you heading back to your seat or the trailer?
The trailer's full, isn't it?
It's currently full, yeah.
No, I'll make it back to my seat.
Okay.
Door's still open, right? Like, I fell out.
It wasn't. There isn't
hole.
so much a door as such. You just sort of tumbled out. But yeah.
Okay.
But you're gonna give me a speed check, please.
Oh shit, my speed sucks.
Have you got anything that can help you with this?
It's fine. It's fine. My speed's 31. I got a 28.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we lost Lizzie for a moment there. But she's probably there somewhere. There she is. Oh, I see. She was just composing herself because this is so
Put
damn
me light
tense.
on.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Now I can see where you are, Lucky. It's easier to kill you. But before that,
Yay!
Jackal, you get back and you can see he's covered in mud. Harper, you can see this, and it is that he's sprinting and these things are bursting forward. They're just sort of, like you imagine, like a tiger runs, and they're locked on him. They're going for him, and he manages to barrel into the vehicle. Vig, you feel the bump of Jackal hit your back. You don't even.
Hold on to your butts.
There's not even.
Go!
He doesn't even turn around. Vig floors it like bang, and just immediately the wheels are spinning and mud's flying, and everyone keeps hold. I'm not going to get you to make body checks for this, because he was prepared, and the vehicle begins firing forward. It is now the creature's turn. You basically get a good point away from them.
That was vital. That was vital.
That was possibly life-saving. But it is the creature's turn. They're going to, essentially, all four of them are going to take their turn. They're just going to keep sprinting, and they're going to get... They're not going to attack yet, but they're pretty much they're biting at the back of the vehicle. They are almost catching up.
Shoot her!
Yeah, and it is, these things are like, the T-Rex in the mirror, that sort of, oh shit, they're fucking closer. They are at the heels of this thing. They are very fast, and they caught up a bit. Harper, with that in mind, the Marines are still firing, but they had their fire. They did their fire for this round, so at the top of the round they'll get another round of fire. But Harper, what are you doing?
Well, I ain't got shit. I've just got a tranquilizer gun. So I think what I'll do is, once you're settled in, Archer, I'm just gonna turn very matter of factly and say, "Do you have a spare gun, by any chance?"
I did. It's not spare anymore, but.
Well then, I'm guessing the tranquilizer gun isn't gonna reach.
Robert, I've got a pistol and a submachine gun. You can have one of those if you want.
And like the submachine gun, and that's just basically gonna be my turn.
Yeah,
just
basically getting the submachine gun off Vig as he's trying to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a submachine gun in your hand as these things are like very close now. Meanwhile, Lucky, you turn back and you can see that the lights have started moving once again. Are you heading onwards?
Can I look around and see if there's any little bit of higher ground that I could get to? He looks so worried.
There's possibly. I mean, this
you
is.
don't know.
This
you
is,
don't know my plan.
This is.
It's a redemption arc.
Let's see. All the way Lizzie's playing. Yes, there's a bit. There's probably. How much high ground are you looking for?
Basically enough that I'd get a clear view back down as at what was happening, but I don't know how jungly and overgrown
The trees
it
are
is.
quite
Yeah.
tall. This is quite tall trees, so you probably maybe have to go slightly off your beaten track to do that. Might take a bit more time than you wanted to do that.
Okay, in which case,
Or you can head straight on and do another check, see how fast you move through that. You're making good progress.
I want to keep moving. I want an action and a bonus action. Can I take the monkey wrench, as previously advertised, and just kind of get it covered a little bit in blood? And I want to throw it as far as I possibly can, kind of back towards the outpost, but not on my path, sort of almost an in-betweeny path.
Yeah, sort of like so. Because
I'm playing fetch now.
Yeah. You had one sort of distraction that you put one direction. You get to do one.
Yeah.
Throw someone out. Yeah. You can do that. That would probably be your whole turn in order to get a decent amount. If you don't want to make a chunk, if you don't want to roll to do it and then move, then I'll allow you just to do that with your turn. But it would take time.
Can I do both? Can I roll to do both?
Do a speed check.
Would my military training or wilderness survival?
I will allow the wilderness survival. That's the only one I'll allow with this.
So speed, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to get 47. I've got the blue and the purple dice have come out for the second half. 35. Mwah, mwah.
It's not too
Success.
hard because that wound is a lot deeper than you thought it was. So you managed to. It doesn't. You're not trying to force blood out. It's sort of like put it down and it's like, oh shit, and then you launch it, and with the success you turn and you can keep booking
Keep
on.
running.
You think you can start to see like an opening. Possibly the bottom of the sort of hill leading upwards from this place. You can possibly see that's where you want to be. Okay, top of the round. Can Harper and Vig just give me actually I think, do you want High Noon to fire as well? As these things,
why not?
So
Why not?
yeah.
They're gaining on them.
yeah,
pretty
they're
close,
right.
I think,
They're
so.
almost running right next to the vehicle now. So if Harper, Jackal, and Vig, if you give me a roll for the Marines, just give me a D100 roll.
14. Oh.
2.
2.
Oh.
Is that bad or good? I
That's
never
very
know.
good.
Oh, cool.
And what did you get, Jackal?
Oh, sorry.
Because all three of those NPC Marines are now firing.
21.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. They got closer, which meant tank shotgun. That's just, you son of a bitch! And they just fire, boom! And you see one of them like get hit in the side and just tumble off to the side, and it's scrabbling to try and like one flies off, really badly hurts that one. Workbench once again opens up with the SMG. Can someone give me? Where's the SMGs? Let's see. Who wants? No, Sarah. That was the roll I took. Could you give me 2d10, please?
You can? Sure, I can. A 0 and a 3, so I'm guessing that's a 10 and a 3.
Ooh, right. Okay. Could you roll me another d10, please?
Another d10, okay. Oh, that was a 1, not as good. I don't know what I'm rolling for though, so that could be good or
But
bad.
he's still like, just the gunfire goes off. He hits another one, and it sort of stumbles. It didn't expect at point blank range to get shot like this, and it sort of stumbles, and that hits a tree branch here. As that one sort of knocked back, so 2 of them have been knocked back. And High Noon, I believe. What did she have? Did she have an SMG? I've got to remember now. Or did she just have a pistol? I think she had an. In the jungle, I believe she had an SMG. Did she not? High Noon.
I do not remember.
I think she did. For the sake of brevity, Eliot, could you roll me 2d10, please?
Yes. I got one.
1 on 2d10.
Oh, a D10 twice.
Yeah, yeah,
And then what? Both numbers or add them together?
yeah. Add them together. Yeah.
Okay. 9.
Not bad.
She blasts at this one. It sort of takes the hit and it keeps going. That one doesn't slow down. So 2 out of 4 have been knocked back. They're sort of scrambling up. So there's 2 out of 4 left. Vig, still driving now. You're gonna have to give me another driving check. This is going to be the other check. So what did you do first time?
Intellect. Plus, yeah, my
So this
skill.
is strength, because with all this and you're fighting the road, give me the strength plus your piloting. And rim-wise, please.
Okay, so I'm trying to beat, what was the rim raise? That's 50, so I'm trying to beat 60 then.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to use a mixture of 2 dice pools, which is the first time I've ever done this. So let's see.
Oh.
Crossing the streams.
Uh-oh.
Got 96.
Oh, no.
Okay.
At least we didn't get dubs.
Yeah.
You gain a point of stress.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that failure, the two that were caught up with the vehicle, they get up to where you guys are. They pass the trailer and they're almost neck and neck where Harper and Jackal are. Okay, Jackal, it is your turn. Is this creature's just barreling at you? The one. Go on, Harper.
Question.
Is it beside me?
It is beside you, but Harper, you had a question.
Oh no, sorry. I think I'll wait for my turn.
Okay.
I think.
Because he failed, he lost a little bit of movement, and it gave him a chance to. They were more agile, and the other 2 are still scrambling up, and they've started chasing after you again. So this
Is it
thing,
close enough?
it is close enough. It's nearby.
Is it
It's not close, but
oh, okay. So it's not close enough for me to take a swing with my vibrachette or anything.
Oh, you got that.
Vibrachette.
Oh,
you
you
got
got
the Vibrachette.
My vibrachette.
Vibrachette.
I will say this: it's close enough. It's close enough that on its turn, it can get to you, right?
Right.
So, as such, if you want to swing away with this thing, you can swing away. But you're going to have to swing back of a moving vehicle. Okay? Just be careful. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not stopping again.
He's not stopping. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Make your decision. Do you want
to
to swing to the one that's next to you? The one that hasn't been hit? Harper, the one that's on your side, just so you know, that was the one that High Noon hit and it kept going.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Hasn't been hit.
Can you could hold your action, can you? Maybe? Hold your machete up.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. Yeah, I'm going
Right.
to ready an attack so that if it comes at the car, I'm going to make my attack as it's coming towards the car and try and bat it so I don't have to like lean all the way out of the car basically. And I can just like slash it away if it tries to make a move towards us. So I'll hold my action for the moment for that.
Okay. And that's happening.
As much as I really want to.
So, let's get this one first. As this creature moves and it jumps, it's going to attack. Jackal's going to attack. Because of these, both attacks are going to be with disadvantage.
Both attacks.
Both attacks. Your
Okay.
attack, because this thing's moving and to see
Yep.
something like this come at you. But it also has disadvantage on its attack. Okay?
Okay, right.
So-
And
So
Combat,
roll,
right?
roll twice. Yeah, combat with
yeah, what can I add to this? Military training?
I will allow military training.
What about athletics?
Maybe not athletics on this one.
No. Okay. Okay. So I get
Which
plus 10.
is that a +10 athletics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I'm inclined to allow that because you're going to have to be quick. You're going to have to. The reflexes are going to have to be there to do it. So.
Okay. So
so
I'm trying to beat
roll twice.
64.
Okay.
Oh, with a disadvantage. Okay. No. No.
What did you roll?
72 and then an 80.
I rolled an 88. I rolled a 48 and then an 88. No damage occurs. The claws, as you sort of hold this up, this thing sort of hits it and it sort of stumbles a bit. And because it got the critical fail, it doesn't land properly. You didn't do any damage to it, but it doesn't land. So it's lost ground as the vehicle is barreling, and there's only one that's still going, and that's right next to Harper.
Hi. Hey, babe.
Okay.
I have very little health. Please try not to chew on me.
Okay. This thing's going to jump up as its jaws come out towards you.
Ew.
And I rolled a 6.
What is that against?
It's not against you. I succeeded. That's all you need to know. As this thing jumps up, and the jaw clamps around your arm, Harper, like absolutely just. And because it's essentially grappled you, but it's which means it's on the moving vehicle with you. It's just sort of dragging around. It is going to do. You have this does include your armor, so you've got 7 points of armor. Okay, remember that.
Right.
So that gets taken off first before anything else. Okay.
Mhm.
It does. Don't roll shit now.
Yes, do roll shit now. Please, roll shit now.
Okay. So I rolled 13 points of damage.
Okay.
But 7 of that is the armor. So the armor cracks, you know, the sort of... The armor's no good now. It's just been as this thing sort of cracked a lot of it. And it pierces like into your arm and your shoulder. And you feel like a grip going. So this vehicle's barreling along, and now this thing's being dragged along with it. This massive creature. As the android blood is... You feel it on the back of your neck, Vig. This is happening probably about a meter or 2 behind you. And you're aware that this thing's carrying on. The other creatures, the 2 that were being left behind, they get up and they're chasing once more. They picked up pursuit. But they're not with you yet. They'll be with you on the next turn, possibly. Okay.
Is there anything else I can do in this?
My health was 5. I've got armor of 7, which means...
Hang on. How many wounds have you got?
1.
Did Harper only have 1 wound? She's an android.
Oh no, I've got 3 wounds,
So-
and I've got 1 of 3.
Okay. You've got what?
It's got like a little thing, and it says 3 maximum, and then current. What? I'm confused.
Right, okay. And for the viewers and listeners at home, okay, every character has a health block. Just say 10 points. Just say you got 10 points of health. On your last block, that is a wound. Some characters only have 2 wounds. Some have 3.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you max that out, every time you lose that health and you get to the wound, you roll on the wound table, which could be very, very badly. Very bad or not all. When you lose all of your wounds,
You're dead.
Okay. But Harper hasn't been seriously wounded yet, has she?
She has. I think she must have been.
When did she get wounded?
I don't know, but she has been.
She lost a bit of damage in... I think this is your first wound you're losing.
If you say so.
Because we
I'll
have
quite happily
because
say,
we,
yeah,
and
sure.
because we haven't rolled on the wound table, and as Lizzie knows,
Okay.
wounds can go very, very badly for a character. Okay, so you are down
Yeah,
a
all right.
wound. Okay,
Okay.
how many
I'm
health
sure-
how many health points do you have?
Well, my maximum is 11, but
11.
I'm down to 5.
Okay, so you were down to 5.
Yeah. So now I'll roll on the wounds table.
Yeah, roll
and
a
then
roll a d10.
Does that mean that my health goes back to 11?
No.
No, it's just 0. It's just every time I get hurt, I'm gonna get wounds then, right?
I'm trying to figure this out.
No, you'd go back to effectively full health on your next wound. So you
Right.
go-
Okay.
Imagine,
kind of-
imagine if you will,
So it's
the
basically
Zelda
like
hearts. You've got all the Zelda
Yeah.
hearts.
Mhm.
So you would have 3 lines of 11.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So I've
And
got
every time you lose
2
11,
lines left.
you get a wound. So you've lost the first wound. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So it is
Okay.
back to.
Yeah.
So I've
So
got
you've
another
essentially
line of
you've got
11
22
now.
points of health left.
Yes.
We'll say that to make it easier and quicker.
Sweet. So roll a d10.
Yeah. Roll a d10. This could still be quite bad for you.
I'm pretty prepared to lose that arm. She's probably gonna cut it off. I don't think she has a knife. 7. I need that fine machete.
You don't feel it, Harper. You feel intense pressure, and then as the limb rips off. The creature, because of this, so you've lost your right arm, the creature loses grip. Okay? So by losing an arm, the creature's no longer on the vehicle. However, you're missing
Was that
your
the
you're missing your right arm, and you have +5 bleeding. Now,
Okay.
what this means, Lizzie's having flashbacks. You have +5 bleeding for every round
Okay.
that you do not stem the liquid you're losing. 5 health points disappear.
Okay.
Okay, so when it comes to your round, if you do not stop that, your systems, and it's a massive. As soon as that happens, it's a massive shock to the system. But you know that like you've got to stem this somehow. Okay.
Okay.
But that's what's happened on that turn.
Worse.
And I believe it's your turn, Harper. I just need.
'Cause
I need to
I
ask,
can't.
which arm did you have the gun in?
Oh god, that's a very good question.
No one reminder
okay.
which arm went.
No.
Yeah, no.
In the car, am I sitting? If this is the front of the car,
Hmm.
this is the front. Am I sitting on? So I'm sitting in the back. Am I sitting?
You're sitting.
on-
You're sitting in the middle, over Vig's right-hand shoulder. Okay. You are in the middle of the diamond. Because tank's at the back. You're next.
You're on the right.
Yeah.
I'm on the right.
You're on the
okay,
right.
I'm on
Yes.
the right. Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Because I would have said she's got the stone in the middle, and like near Isaac, and she would probably have the gun in that hand, in her right arm that she has just lost. Because, but anyway, I won't be able to fire it because I've only got one arm, right?
An SMG was a smaller weapon that you can fire one-handed, but that's irrelevant because your arm's gone,
Capri.
and now
Yeah.
now
I'm
things are
gonna
quite bad. So
stem
on your
the
turn, what would you like to do, Harper? As your arm is
Stem
gone,
the wound.
stem the wound. Okay, and I would say actually before that, roll a panic check, please, Harper, because you just lost an arm.
Sure. So that is rolling
about
a
D20, D20, and you have to roll higher than your current stress. God, it's all kicking off already.
Oh no! If I roll badly now,
What is your current stress level?
8.
8, okay. So you just need to roll over 8.
10.
10?
Fine.
And another act of
What?
Harper being strangely calm about this, she doesn't panic. But, like, so you're going to stem this wound with whatever you can, and
I think, like, yeah, because I think her initial response would have been when that thing latched onto her. She would have thought, I need to get rid of this arm to get rid of this thing.
There's a perfectly good tarp you could use.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I saw what that did to the humans. I'm not going to do that again.
Okay.
No, I'm going to search for anything else.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
a jacket.
I would say give me an intellect check. What have you got anything that can help with this?
Have I got anything that can help?
Mm-hmm.
I know computers and math.
No, I don't know.
Linguistics? Military training. Military training?
No, they're not so
No,
much.
basic.
No, I don't think. This is just gonna be a
My
straight.
body is like a computer.
I appreciate the hustle.
Well, sorry.
Oh God.
I got 37, and my intellect is 52.
52, brilliant.
I'm a smart cookie.
Yes. You look around and you find a couple of things that could possibly like stem the wound. There's also there's a lot of stuff that's on Isaac that he used to try and stem his wounds that you could tear off, and you're almost like making a tourniquet like from bits of his like old
As I
gear.
do it, I kind of like eye up his right arm, like.
Yeah.
"Ooh, okay."
Okay. I will also say when that happens, can Jackal and Vig give me a panic check because it happened right next to you. It's only fair, I think.
Okay.
So you don't get. I'm not going to give you stress, but just roll a straight up panic check and get what higher than. Okay.
Failed.
Oh no! What did you get?
I got a 4. So that means it goes up, right?
Yes, overwhelmed. Could you roll me a D10, please, Jackal?
Alrighty. I got a 7.
For the next 7 minutes, all your actions are at disadvantage, and
Oh.
permanently your minimum stress goes up by 1.
My minimum stress goes up by 1. Jeezy, crazy.
Vig, what did you get?
Was I rolling a 100?
No, it's a 20. You have to get above what your
Oh.
current stress is. So
Right, okay. Oh, it's a 1. Can I
hang on.
take advantage?
No, hang on. What's your current stress?
13.
13. And you rolled a 1 on a D20.
Yeah.
This,
13?
in a strange turn of events, this gives you laser focus. Could you roll me? Could you give me 2d10, please? Roll
Okay.
yeah, just to roll a d10 twice and combine the numbers. As Vig, as this happens, there's the realization: I've got to do this. I've got to get these people out now, or it's not fucking happening.
I got 8.
So
No, roll it. Did you roll them twice and combine the
I've got
numbers?
2.
okay. So for the next 8 minutes, you have advantage on all rolls, including your saves. So Vig's, as he gets splashed with this blood, he's sort of like he just puts his head down and just puts his foot down, and certainly the engine goes and the vehicle picks up speed.
And the opposite happens to me.
Yeah. As you're like, this is going badly.
Oh
So,
no. Yeah.
it's my newfound superpower. What does that mean?
It just means like if I ask you to do a roll, you've got it with advantage. We'll deal with that when it
Okay.
comes. Yeah. But you are laser focused. You're straight ahead, and you're just getting there as soon as you
In
possibly
my
can.
element, I'm driving. It's
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah. You're just ignoring whatever's happening over your shoulder. You've turned around and just thought, if we're going to survive, I can't look behind me. I'm going to keep fucking going.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Am I still? Does that mean I don't take that 5 bleeding damage every turn? No.
You succeeded on your check, so you stem it. So yes, you managed to. I mean, it's messy. But yeah.
Sure.
I mean, trying to get an android and that and your kit, all your kit out of this vehicle is going to be interesting when it gets to. Anyway, meanwhile, Back in the jungle. That was your turn, Harper, while you were sorting all this out.
Mhm.
Back in the jungle. Okay, you can see the base of what seems... You see the opening as you move forward, and you can see the base of what seems to be... It's not a mountainous region. This is like a large hill. You know, just imagine like Glastonbury Hill or something like that, you know, where the Tor is like a real deep... This is going to be a bastard to climb, but you've got to move as fast as you can. As you see that, something appears out from the sky as a sky talon appears. The evac ship is there. What do you do?
Is there anything on or around this hill that is like monstery? Like, is there a monster henge on top of this hill?
Monster tour.
You can't see from the top of this hill. There's no.
Yeah.
You can't see. I mean, as the lights shine on it, it's not like there's an actual structure there. There's nothing there. It's just a. It seems to be quite a flat sort of where this hill is. The top of it's pretty flat, which you can see now. What this is why it's been picked as it's a decent sized top for this ship to possibly land on and get you off quickly. So you see nothing at the top.
Okay.
With a quick look.
Do we have? Would a smart rifle or a submachine gun have any kind of little light? You know, they go into derelict buildings in crime shows with a little flashlight.
Yeah, you
on
had.
your gun.
Yeah, when you first went into the outpost, I said you had
Cool.
like the lights on you.
Can I kind of effectively point that up to towards the ship and do a little kind of marine code flashy signal for
Okay.
you're in the right place?
Yeah. And you see the ship sort of like after doing that, you see the ship. It begins to steady itself as if it's going to come down.
Cool.
Soon. So you...
And then I will start up the hill.
Okay.
But I want to be watching behind to see if I can see what's happening
So
amongst them.
This is not going to be fast. Obviously, with your leg hurting as well, and you can hear in the background there has been gunfire. Something's happened. You know. So I would say make a speed check with disadvantage because you're trying to do you're hurt and you're trying to do two things as well as checking. So
Okay.
see how well you start this journey.
Would my military training be helpful?
No, but your athletics.
My athletics would. Okay, so 42. No. Oh no. A 76 and an 80. That's 2 fails.
Okay.
Back in the bag with you.
You gain a point of stress as you're scrambling around, and you turn around. With the gunfire, you turn around, and your leg buckles, and you slip on the sort of wet earth and ground. You know, you get a face full of mud. Some of it goes in your eye. You know, so you've gone prone for a little bit. You hit the dirt, so you haven't made it as far up as you could have if you were just. But you do, as you sort of glance up, you do see the ship begin to steady itself. And okay, top of the round. Now we've got some Marines who haven't been hit. Do you want them to fire again? Or roll me a D100 then, please.
Okay. 36.
Okay.
46.
I got 33.
Okay. As the creature that tore off Harper's arm and dropped back, as it sort of shakes its head and it throws the arm, you see the arm sort of disappear into some foliage, and as it looks back, Tank bang, and he sort of fires it, and it's sort of that one now sort of scuttles backwards and disappears into foliage. That one badly hurt. Oh, my stat blocks are getting murdered. Could Vig and Jackal, could you roll me 2d10 each, please? So roll me a straight 2d10.
Oh, I mean, if you get a 0, is that a 10?
Yes.
Okay.
I got an 8.
In total, out of 2d10.
Yeah.
I got 17.
Okay, as these things are being... Oh no. It was the one next to you, Jackal, that hadn't been hit. Or was it the one near
Yeah.
Harper? Yeah.
No, it was the one next to me that hadn't been hit.
Okay, yeah. That is the one that High Noon, who's sort of closest to that, she sort of spins around and just unleashes the SMG. And you said... How much did you say? 17 or was it 13?
17.
17. As she sort of it's like, fucking eat it! She's just firing. All of a sudden, the doctor seems a complete faraway thing as she's blasting us at this thing. And Vig, workbench, shoots back at one of the ones that was picking up speed and knocks it back a bit further, so that is overtaken by the other one. So that doesn't seem like it's going to catch up to you at any point soon. Not that you would notice, Vig, because you are looking straight ahead and you can see the trees open up and a large mound of earth with a flat top heading there. Now, it's pretty steep, but what would you like to do? As you see, there it is. And you see, this is the first time, you now see it with your laser focus as well, you see that ship. Ship, you're the kind of ship you're very familiar with because you were in one earlier today.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I would very much like to enter an appropriate gear to get this rig up the hill.
Okay, you can certainly do that. And knowing that, I would probably say strength check again because you're going to try and force this thing. You're going to try and this is with advantage, remember.
Alright, okay.
So basically, roll a D100 twice. Give me the lower roll. That's what you got to give me.
So I got 47.
Okay, and that is your strength with your piloting, I believe we said, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's safe, I guess. And I got a 51.
It is bumpy, and like boom, you sort of hit the base of this thing. You're not shooting up it straight away, but I would say that like you've managed to sort of get it so this thing doesn't ditch itself straight away, and it hits the base. It slows down quite a lot before the tires begin, and they get some grip, and it begins moving up. It's at that point, because you're focused on looking up, and you look to the side slightly, and you think you see someone on that hill.
Can I speak?
The short range comms
Can
are
I
still you're
bit my communicator on and go, you got this, Vig. You got it. Bring him home, baby. Bring him home.
as that sort of crackles into life.
Fuck yeah!
And you have successfully, you're beginning the trajectory up this thing. Okay, Jackal, it's your turn. As the creatures have started, I mean they're getting heavily damaged, but they're starting to catch up, but they're no longer at your heels. What do you do?
I want to take another shot.
At the one that
So yeah, are they not really in range for a shotgun shot then?
shotgun, I believe that has a range. Combat shotgun is close, so if it was, I would say it won't do its full damage, but you could possibly hit it. If you
Am I able to hit? Which one am I hitting? The undamaged one, because that was the one that was at the my side.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
well, if you can take a shot at where that's the one that's probably easier for you to hit, which is now damaged because High Noon just peppered it with sub.
Oh, I
SM.
just peppered that one.
Yeah,
Okay.
so as she
Yeah,
lights it up.
I'll take a shot at that fucker.
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Of course, yeah. So combat plus military training plus firearms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You.
Yes. It's a 69 to beat. And I'm
Nice.
good so far. That's the first roll.
It's religion, isn't it? You gotta do that.
You know, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all good. First roll was a 3. Second roll was a 36.
Oh,
Very nice.
beautiful. So, rather than it taking a wound off completely, could you give me? Could you give me 1d10, please?
1d10. All right. 7 again.
And then could you give me another d10, please?
Another d10.
This got turned up. this
6.
thing. Oh my god! As you fire into this thing, and you notice it as it's sort of peppered, like a chunk, like blasts out of its neck, and it just roars, and it sort of shakes its head, and it sort of tumbles down a little bit. It starts to get up again, but it's very badly hurt.
Jackal is currently more concerned with killing as many of these things as possible than escaping.
Okay. Okay. And it is their turn, but they have been significantly. So the ones at the back are gonna try and catch up. With all the damage you're doing, I would say the one nearest Harper probably would have been the closest, but Tank just fired into that one. So they're basically going to take their movement to catch up. And they are catching up because this thing is going up a hill now. So they are catching up. So I would say they're pretty much going to be nearby. They're going to be within jumping range, most of them, by the time it gets to the next round. You do hear another sound in the distance. It is an almighty howl that echoes over the night. And yes, okay, it's Harper's turn. Harper, you have
Great.
yeah.
Can I the almighty howl? Can
Yeah.
we see what the source of it is? Is it the big bugger?
You would presume so. You cannot see
Can
it.
we see the big bugger? No, we
You
can't.
cannot see the big bugger right now, but you can see like movement in the trees somewhere further back, way further back.
It's very difficult to multitask now. I think I'm going to take out my trank gun and just ready it because it's pretty much all I have now.
Okay.
And just ready it for if anything else jumps at me.
Yeah. By the way, the scientists are losing their fucking minds during this whole thing.
But are they getting in the way though?
They're not. They haven't been getting in the way because the attacks have come at you guys mostly. So yeah, well, thankfully they've been out of the line of fire. Damn it, I forgot about that. But you have the trunk.
Tasty scientist morsels
Yeah.
could have been robbed.
As Jackal, you notice this
Or
like
bone.
after like patching up this massive wound, Harper just digs into a pocket and just pulls out a little trank gun, and it's just there, missing an arm, just absolutely, and just there with a little trank gun, ready.
Are you okay, Harper?
Okay is a relative term. I'm getting by.
You seem fine to me.
Okay. Lucky. That Harper, that's your turn, just in case anything kicks off. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And because you're doing that, if anything happens, like to the vehicles, it goes up. Not that it will, but you'll have advantage because you've chosen.
How far have we got to go up this hill?
It'll probably be possibly a round or two. Probably be quicker because Vig's doing very well.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So But Lucky, you see this vehicle. It's pretty much it's almost neck and neck with you at the moment, but just on another.
How far distant would you say we are?
It's probably about 40 meters away.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I
You can
reach
make
into
it.
my
You can make it to the top of
pocket.
the round if you book it. You make it to the top of the round, but it will be a check.
I'm going to reach into my pocket and take a stim pack,
Mhm.
and then book it.
So you're going to take the stim pack.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So the stim pack. I just look for the equipment tab. You've already taken one as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I had 2.
Okay. This could be very, very interesting. Because stim packs are very powerful adrenaline.
Hell yeah.
Adrenaline-based medicine. Roll 1d10.
One.
You get 1
no.
health back.
Woo.
Um,
Hey, I might need it later.
Give me 2d10, please.
Well, not you, because you just let me down. 9 total.
Okay, so for the next 9 minutes, you have advantage to strength and combat rolls,
Ooh, nice.
which could help as you're trying to basically scrabble up this hill. Okay?
Yeah.
But could you give me a body save, please?
Oh, will anything help?
Nope.
Nope. So close. I needed a 31 and that was the 34. Really close.
Okay.
Really hurts a little bit.
Okay. It pulses through your system and like it wakes you up. Everything, like even though it's dark outside, everything seems to get brighter. It feels amazing.
I think there's some pounding dance tunes going on in the head now
Yeah,
as
you
well.
just want this. Oh god, if this is what it feels like being hurt, you want to be hurt more. But it's just. But now you're just scrambling up the hill.
Scrambling that down. I'll prove it. I'll prove you wrong, Dad. I'll prove you wrong.
Okay. Top of the round. Rather than the Marines firing the ship, it sort of lands and the door opens. At the top there is a co-pilot that jumps out with a pulse rifle, wearing sort of a helmet much like Vig and Chuck wore, and she strides forward and you see this figure, because the lights are shining down, you see this figure sort of look down and you see a barking orders, but you can't hear her so much at the moment, and until you like a sound sort of crackles over your shortwave comms on all of you. He goes, move now, they're coming, and then this starts firing down, and Harper, as you turn around, you see out of the trees a lot of creatures start appearing,
Ooh, ship tags. Okay.
and they appear at the edge of the trees, and they're gonna try and swarm up.
Oh,
Right.
Vig, they haven't reached you yet, but you can see
Is
that
now the time
Yeah.
to bail on
some of them like they burst out of the trees and they overtake some of like the injured ones, and there is a lot.
Have I installed a big box of marbles at the back of the thing?
If only.
I've got a necklace of beads.
Yeah, if only.
Earrings.
Yeah.
Reese shooter.
Are you going to try and just force this thing up there?
I don't have much choice. I'm not going to be able to fight a whole bunch of these things in my little rinky dink.
Okay, well, you've got advantage on this roll. So
That's true.
Give me another driving check with advantage.
800.
Yeah,
800, yeah.
with your piloting as well, like same as you did before.
I got 00 on my 100 and 7 on my 10.
So you got 7. This thing is just sort of forcing its way up. I mean, there is a moment where you have to sort of, the rest of you in there have to hold on. But he's controlling it, and it is striding up. And you get close, you pretty much get almost to the ridge of this thing. Before Vig, you're almost there until you know that the vehicle's gone the maximum it's going to go. It's going. You're going to have to get out and get. You can see the ship. The ship is pretty much almost within running distance, and you can see this female figure like just firing down behind. You haven't looked behind yet, but you've made it. Well done. You've made it to the top, pretty much the top of the hill, and the rest of you looking down. You can see a nightmare swarming out of the trees.
Okay.
And Jackal, it's your turn. Vig's made it to the top of the hill.
Did you just say somebody needs to get out and push?
No one needs to get out and
that
push.
Everyone needs to get out and run.
Get out.
Basically there was a steep part at the top of the
Okay.
ridge that the vehicle wasn't going to get over, but he's made it to that flat landing point where the ship is there.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna get out.
What are you planning to do? Are you heading to the ship?
Yeah, calmly.
Calmly? That's a bit
You're not
creepy.
going to book it? Not
I
gonna
am-
Is
I mean-
shoot anything else?
I have a lot of luggage if you want to help me out with my luggage. I can't really carry it.
No, yeah, I did see Harper lose the arm. Yeah, I guess I'll help Harper. Yeah,
Can you take
that's fair
Isaac?
enough. Like, you understand, Harper?
What's going to be less creepy for you to hold, the Rock or Isaac?
Are you attempting to carry something of Harper's, or are you attempting to try and drag Harper out of the vehicle?
Oh.
I wouldn't have thought I needed to drag Harper out of the vehicle, would I?
I think I can.
Oh, do you mean
Just put it
away
out
from
there in the
Isaac?
universe.
I mean, how close are these things?
No, if
They're
Harper
fast.
wants to die for Isaac, I'm not going to stop her dying for Isaac. But I offer to help. Yeah.
Okay, so Harper, what do you want to give him?
I'm going to shove the stone in my backpack. And
Okay.
shove it back at you.
You're given this bag.
Don't look at it! Don't look at it.
As you're given this bag, and
Yeah.
the bag feels cold,
Okay.
and as Harper tells you, get this in. What do you do?
Okay.
Fucking
Oh, I can see Eliot's face.
I don't know. I think,
you just
realistically.
gonna lob it down the hill.
No. Oh man. I have the power.
No.
I'm just gonna put the backpack on. I'm just gonna put the backpack on, and I'm just gonna go towards the ship.
Yeah.
Archer
As you
has
see
been-
this sort of like, this co-pilot look at you, and she goes, "Get in the fucking ship!"
I pay her almost no notice
Yeah.
as I just stroll
She's
past.
just firing.
Oh, it's
Damn it.
helpful.
Okay. And you can pretty much make it to the ship.
If I'm on the ship, I want to get to a window and just look for the big one. I just want to see the
I would
big
say
one.
with this, you haven't gotten to the point of like being able to do all of
Okay.
that and get in. You've got on the ramp.
That's
I
fine.
know.
That's fine.
Okay. It's the creature's turn. Swarms of them just appear at the base of this thing, and they are sprinting up. Some of them are like climbing over each other. It's carnage, and there's just and yeah, they're almost, even though they're just they move like big cats. They're swarming like ants and insects, just, and they are just coming out of this undergrowth. Where they came from, you don't know. And then there's a bigger one that appears. Lucky, you probably and Harper, you probably see it as well. There's a big one that's moving a bit slower than the rest, and it sort of looks up, and you can see like it's missing an eye, and one of the tusks is cracked as it just and it begins boom, boom, and as it's moving, it's smashing smaller ones out of the way as it's moving up. And that's their turn. They haven't reached you. But it's swarming up they're all swarming up this hill. Harper, it's your turn. There's all these NPCs as well. They're like, ah! And they're scrambling to get out and stuff.
I mean, they can handle their own shit, right?
You got the other Marines as well. They can probably.
Yeah.
Save the humans.
Can I, within a turn, can I pick up Isaac and run to the ship? Can I try to pick him up? And if he's not coming up easy, I'm just gonna book it to the ship.
I will say this. If you want to try that, it will be a strength check with disadvantage to do that. If you do not succeed, you will not get to that ship by the end of this turn. And you will even if you succeed, you will only get halfway there. Because you're carrying something.
These creatures are near us, right?
They're not nearby.
Within the next turn, they're going to get to us.
They're going to get within scary sort of range.
Sorry, friend.
Take his head.
I mean, can I take his head? I don't think I can. I'd have to probably
Yeah, he has to detach the head first.
Yeah, you'd have to detach the head.
Can I detach the head? I don't think I've got time.
No, no, that would be a whole thing. You know, that's a.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very as upset as Harper can get about it, which is not actually that upset. More kind of.
Okay.
She's gonna book it.
Yeah, she gets out and begins stumbling, and you're stumbling as you notice, Harper, that it's been a severe amount of damage. You see some on your sort of the vision that you can see, like some of it sort of flashing and going crazy. You've been severely damaged by this, but you can still make it, and you're pretty much just getting there. As you see this person sort of firing down, just look at you and go, holy fuck, get in. And yeah, you sort of stumble in. Rube, it's your fucking just like a horror show. That's a bit rude. The tranquilizer gun still in your hand. Rude.
Who can use this?
Yeah.
I think the thing that sways it for her though is the fact that she's got this data that is really part of her mission.
Yeah.
So I don't think she would give up her mission to attempt to salvage this other android.
Okay.
She's annoying, but still.
So you make it. You pretty much just stumble in. Lucky. You can see now it's like gunfires flying over your head and stuff, and you look round, you turn behind and see what's coming.
And how close am I to the ship?
You could make it, but you're gonna have to make a check.
But I wouldn't be able to do anything else really at the same sort of time.
Depends what you want to do.
Be a hero.
Tell me what you would like to do, and
what's my distance to the NPCs?
It's kind of, they're a little bit closer than the ship because they're just off to your right. So if you want to help them, you'd have to move away from the open doors that are right in front of you. If I've painted that picture. So you're there and there.
So it's kind of get to the ship, this go, or get to the NPCs and then the ship next go.
Yeah. I love moral choices.
Can I? I'm going to take out my submachine gun, or I'm going to pull. I have my submachine gun. Somebody kindly lent me, and I'm just going to spray some random fire down the hill.
Okay.
And then move a bit towards the NPCs and shouting kind of, come on, everybody move. You can do it.
Okay.
I believe in you.
I would say even with like, I mean, you can roll me a combat check because it's always fun to roll dice.
Yeah, because I've got advantage on combat checks for 9 minutes.
Yes.
Got to make the most of this.
Yeah.
Can I use my military training?
Yeah.
So 51 is the target. 69. No. 49. Yes.
49. Then roll me the 2d10 damage on you.
2d10. 11 total.
As you're just firing down, and you can see like it's hitting some of these things, you know, but that like rather than one specific target, it's peppering a couple of them. As you turn around and fire, you realise, okay, so I'm not going to be able to kill them all with this thing. But you certainly get to.
Yeah, but it looks badass.
Yeah.
Like, tick, 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 tick. Everybody run!
Yeah. So you make it to the truck, and Vig, you notice, and the rest of the NPCs, you notice Lucky arrives at this thing, just screaming, "Everybody run!"
Already happy.
Okay. Top of the round. Vig, what are you doing?
I'm right under that ship.
Are you helping anyone else? Or are you just booking it?
Is everybody okay?
Everyone's
Does anyone need
there,
my help?
and the scientists don't need any. They don't need any more telling. Like, we're lucky getting there. They've already made a start. They pushed past him. Well, not pushed past him. That's a bit rude. But yeah, the Marines are the last to leave, so they'll probably leave. They'll probably go after your turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can book it. I would say make a speed check.
Okay. D100, yeah.
D100, yeah. Just beat.
We get the right ones. There we go. 48.
And what's your speed?
45. But do I have advantages?
Yeah, you still have. Yeah, you have advantage on all rolls actually. So roll again.
Okay.
First one to fail.
Got 77.
Oh, but it wasn't a critical fail because we're taking the better roll. So you gain a point of stress. You almost make it to the ship, but you slip on some of the mud and you fall.
Oh.
Yeah, you hit the dirt. Okay. So, and you gain a point of stress.
Yeah.
Jackal, you're in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the backpack on. The scientists run in at this point. I would say, you know, at that point they sort of run on and. But what are you doing? You can look out if you want. If you want to look out, you can. If you look down, you might be able to see something.
No, I see the scientists who've been doing nothing but freaking out about their own fucking lives this whole time.
God, cold man, they're civilians. Jesus.
Yeah, but what have they been doing before this? I chuck the bag at them and say, do you know anything about this?
And sort of hits like LaRue, and he sort of tumbles over. Chen's like, about what? About what? And she sort of. She begins opening the bag.
Hey, don't look at it. Don't look at it.
What? I'm sorry. How the hell am I supposed to tell you if I know anything about it if I don't know what I'm fucking looking at? What the fuck am I looking at?
It was in your scientific chambers. The rock.
You fucking brought that thing? Oh,
I've been trying to ask you what the fuck it was since we left the compound.
I don't know what it was. It wasn't my project. Okay, while they're arguing, the creatures are. They are now pretty much. There is gunfire from the Marines as they are trying to. They're backing up, and there's lots of gunfire as these things are hopping over one another. They will be on you. After this round, if the ship does not take off. Okay. Harper, you're in the ship while this is going on, and you see that the arguments to sort. This Chen woman, she's clearly like, This wasn't my research. All I know is ever since this fucking thing came to the outpost, this has been hell on earth. Why did you fucking bring it?
With my one remaining arm, I'm just gonna point to her and be like, "Don't look at it." And then I'm gonna go back to the doorway and see if I can help anyone get up.
Okay.
How far? That's basically my turn, isn't it? But how far away is Big?
He's within. You can see he's fallen prone. He's on the floor. He's about probably 10 feet from you. He almost made it to the.
Cheeky in it for me to be like, "Can I help him up?" But is that something I can do?
No, you can do. Yeah, if you want to do that. If you want to get out.
I want to help him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do anything specific. All you said was, "Don't look at that," and you've run out to help. You get him up.
Yeah.
So Vig,
I think there's going to be a part of her programming that's like, "Fuck, you've just left a load of humans to die. Maybe go back."
So, but yeah, Vig, you feel as you hit the dirt, all of a sudden you feel like a strong grip on the back of your collar. As now you see the extent of Harper's sort of wound as she sort of pulls you to your feet.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Robert. Thank you.
Hurry along, Mr. Blouse.
Come along, Mr. Bubbles. And she's pushing Vig towards the vehicle. Lucky, the Marines are they're going to be the last to go at the top of the next round. But the scientists are off. Matt's off. There he is. He's back again. He's so scared by this. Lucky, what are you doing?
I am getting on that ship.
Okay.
And I'm going to adopt the standing at the ramp, holding onto the thing, kind of going, come on, last man out of whichever place it is. Hero pose again.
Okay. I don't know how you've all managed to fucking avoid this. As Lucky sort of books it and climbs onto the ramp, and the other Marines, like tanks, sort of. I mean, it still hurts.
I might help Tank a little bit, give him a bit of a
Yeah. And he sort of pulls out and goes, "Thanks, man." And he looks you in the eyes and goes, "You okay?" And Lucky's eyes are completely
tweaked.
He is jonesing. He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can feel your heartbeat in your
yeah.
ears. Lucky, you can feel your heartbeat in your ears. You can feel the blood pulsing.
The kind of sort of Nicolas Cage overacting kind of woo, yeah, hey, kind of thing going on.
As all the Marines just
Make sure you don't get into not the bees territory.
Yeah.
No, it's
Stay in
the
that area.
it's the face-off kind of overdoing it slightly era Nicolas Cage.
I'm Castor Troy.
Exactly.
Oh my god. And certainly as you get on and all the Marines get on, and the sort of co-pilot sort of steps back towards the ship, just firing, and you can just hear the barks and the howls and the roars as the doors and the ship begins to take off as the co-pilot gets in, and she puts her hand on Lucky, who's still full of it. And she sits it, like pushes him down. "Sit the fuck down."
Anything you say.
Can I take one look back before the door closes at the giant creature and just say under my breath, like, "I wish I could have fucking killed you."
As you see this thing.
I really hope they can't fly.
As the ship is sort of taking off, this thing launches itself towards the ship. As the door, and you feel the ship, it takes a massive hit, and the pilot going, God damn it, we got something hanging on, get rid of that goddamn thing. And as the ship begins to move slightly, but Vig, it's start of the round with your turn. You know, this thing's got weight on it at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's lifting up, but it's got something hanging on.
Can I access the ship's weapons? Has it got a little turret?
It does. It does have a turret. You know that this thing has a turret.
Can I turn this creature into Q-ray with a turret?
You would. This thing has sort of miniguns on the side of it, and you know it's sort of. There is an access panel, thankfully, because it's big. He's got to go back, and he accesses it, and there is a monitor where you can see this thing. And you could probably access it from this mini monitor, and you see it sort of like this thing's hanging on as if like someone holding on to the edge of a helicopter. Do you know what I mean? This thing is gripped on, and like there's blood. You're leaving the swarm behind, but you can see this thing. It will be a combat check.
Okay.
Because of the nature of the ship moving, it would be with disadvantage. You have advantage, so it'll be a straight roll.
Okay.
To see if you can hit this thing.
Okay. I'm so scared. So it's D100 again, yeah?
D100. This would be combat plus you've got military training. I'll let you all have military training.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so you can.
So what would the total be? Like 54 with the military training, yeah? Yeah, okay. $54.
Oh boy!
Whoa.
Oh no.
I'm gonna photograph these so you can see this.
As-
Oh my good god.
As this thing's just like pretty close. Could you roll me 5d10, please?
But how many D10s?
5.
Alright, okay. So I got an 8.
Oh,
I've
actually,
got
no,
one.
not for this gun. Please ignore that. Could you just roll me
All
a
right.
D100, please?
Yeah, sure.
It's a big fucking gun.
I got 57.
As you unload on it, as you clock it, and the sort of the reticle is going. It's really hard, and this thing's sort of moving as it sort of seems to be intelligently sort of trying to scrabble around the ship until. What does it look like when you unload on this thing? And
It looks like my grandma's marinara sauce being made in the air from the inside of a big lizard cat.
Tasty.
It saws it in half.
It carves through the thick hide of this thing with a howl. It lets go and it begins tumbling down as we can see the camera now looking downwards at a swarm underneath it as two parts of this creature sort of fall down towards the rest of it, and when it reaches the rest of the creatures, they begin tearing at it, they just start tearing it to pieces, and like you can see the vehicle that you probably don't see this, but the vehicle that you drove up in is swarmed and just absolutely you can't see that anymore. You can barely see anything, but the ship is and it's starting to take off, and you feel it as the pilot begins turning it, and you've got to get in your seats straight away.
Yeah, seatbelt. Everybody remember what happened last time.
as the ship begins, as you buckle in, and the ship begins heading upwards into the atmosphere, just really sort of shuddering, as the co-pilot sort of looks around to the entire sort of group as she's sort of holding on with one arm. You can see now that her helmet, and you notice this, Vig, when you get in, her helmet has a similar design to what Chuck's had. The sort of like Valkyrie-like symbol. But you can't see the face because they've got the goggles down. She just looks at you going, "Is this all of you?"
Yeah, this is all of us.
Fuck. What the hell were those things?
I wish I could tell you. I've been trying to get an answer out of Buddy Boy over here for 5 minutes.
And you see the co-pilot just look at the scientist and just... As a voice sort of comes over the comms, sort of like, "Okay, we'll be back at the cruiser shortly. How are we looking back there, Rico?" Yeah, we're alright. Seems like we've got some live ones. A couple of white coats who look... Well, they'll probably get questioned a bit. The droid's looking like a... Well, she looks a fucking mess. And the co-pilot stops for a moment and just looks at you, Jackal. How do you look at this moment in time?
Oh, I'm sure I look absolutely terrible. Like, Jackal's fucked up. I think Jackal sort of would turn to Lucky, Vig, and Harper and just look at them and be like, "I have been shown things that I can't make sense of, and it's causing everything to unravel."
And you see like Chen there, just sort of, it's just shaking her head. So it's the ship. Lucky, what are you like at this moment in time?
So Lucky, not many hours ago, rolled in alien monster secretion, then ran through the jungle, got trapped in vines, is covered in his own blood, has been rolling around in the mud quite a lot, and yet, through it all, the eyes are sparkling and the blonde little hair is just sort of fluffing. And he goes over to Rico and holds out his hand and says, "Hi, I'm Frank Day. You can call me Lucky."
And you can sit the fuck down. She just sort of bang. She goes, "And you might want to do something about that leg. Looks a fucking mess." She heads back in. And you look down and your leg stings a bit, Lucky, but you're her loss, you know. And you look down at the leg and the wound. You just think, "Wow, this stuff's really good." My eyes are... It's almost like the wound's moving a little bit. This stuff's really good. As the ship leaves the chaos of Hostilis behind, we go to our epilogue. As the Marines, we pick up a little while later. Some time has passed. So I will ask of the players, after this whole situation went down, certain things happened. When you got off the planet, you were immediately taken to med bays. The scientists were taken away pretty much straight away. You didn't see much of them ever again. They were taken away by armor site officials. Certainly you were debriefed, and the mission, they got all the details that they could out of you all. Harper, you were obviously taken to your own sort of special wing for a bit of a debriefing. You didn't, probably shortly afterwards, you didn't see the Marines again that you had spent this time with, as you had taken off and depowered. And we'll pick up with Harper again in a moment. But soon after this, the planet of Hostilis, after everything is said and done, Armasight basically went back to the planet and laid waste to every single scientific outpost that was there. They bombed it entirely, turning everything and all the research to rubble, wiping out whatever that they saw. But they didn't send as far as people know, they didn't send a squad down to the planet again, to the surface. But whatever data and research that was on this planet was already harvested and saved. And so this planet was essentially wiped off the records, considered to be a no-go area, too dangerous for anyone. And certainly that message went out across all the sectors. Hostilis was also taken off a lot of charts, especially the main charts, and it was patrolled, and people made sure that no one would dare venture to that planet, at least not civilians as such, but maybe, just maybe, there was occasionally some black ops who went down, and certain missions that were sent to investigate certain sites of significance. But that's another story. The Marines of this platoon were essentially the ones that were physically broken, were healed up in infirmaries. Most of the people on this mission were essentially given relief from their duty after such a mission that went down. Vig, you were essentially, you couldn't be a pilot for Armasight anymore. So what does Vig do after the dust has settled and he's no longer a pilot or a military man? Where does Vig Blouse find himself 6, 8, 12 months later?
Vig goes back to what Vig knows. I'm going to go back to the rim, and I'm going to work on the tugboats on New Upstate New York shipyards. Just stay quiet, stay out of the way, do my thing, be Vig.
He is, what sort of jobs, even though he's staying quiet and he's staying under the radar, any particular jobs he busies himself with?
I'm a qualified pilot, and if I can't fly for military, I'm going to fly civilians. I'm going to make a good bit of money transporting cargo between the space station and the planet in my little tug.
Okay. And while you're doing this, you're stopping at some space stations. And you catch up with several other truckers and cargo loaders and etc. You get used to this sort of life. Is Vig happy with this, would you say?
Vig's never happy. No, because it's eating at him from the inside. You can't stop thinking about it. It feels like he didn't get no closure, apart from that really one cool piece of closure that he got where he sawed that alien in half. But he wants more closure than that. And
certainly that gives you, there are sleepless nights you have.
I dream about sawing that alien in half with a minigun all the time.
Yeah. And there's one particular bar you're at. It's a stopover for the night, and you're just having some alcoholic beverage. Vig's choice. Is he a drinker again now?
No, Vig has remained off the booze.
Okay.
So he's drinking a pop.
He's drinking a pop.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there just sipping this dark cola-like
I've still
beverage.
got that 6-pack of lagers in my bag that I keep as a constant test.
Yeah. And does Vig go by his own name?
Yeah, because the blouse name is maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he goes by the name of Ardent Fancy now.
Fantino. Ardent Fantino. Right.
Fancy. Ardent fancy.
Ardent Fancy.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. So you're sat there sort of nursing a drink, watching one of the old sports games in one of the bars. There's a voice sort of pipes up and goes, "So, is that alcohol in that drink there?"
What's it to you?
"Hey, you look like a trucker, honey. That's all I'm saying. I can tell just by looking at someone if they're a long haul trucker. I'm one myself."
Evening to you.
"So, where've you just come from?"
Just come from backlog, doing a little work for Omnicorp. Usual kind of thing. Nothing weird.
Are you that fancy fella I keep hearing about all the time?
That's me, Ardent Fancy.
So Fancy's your actual real name?
Yeah, I'm
I
a
ju-
non-denominational space quaker. What's
Well,
wrong
I
with
just
that?
thought that when someone told me you had a fancy name, I didn't realize your name was actually fancy.
Sometimes there's a coincidence, all right?
Oh, look, honey, I'm fine. I'm fine with names. It's all good with me. I heard you're a pretty good pilot.
The best.
Oh, now that sounds like a challenge.
What do you got?
Well, I work for a company that is. We're on the lookout for some good pilots right now, and I mean it's long work. But it's big credits if you like it.
Good buckaroos?
No, why do people keep calling it buckaroos? I don't understand. What is with that?
Somebody I used to know.
What kind of
used to
goddamn
say
fool?
it.
Well,
An old friend.
oh well. I apologize if they're no longer with us.
Oh, they're alive. I just don't see them anymore.
Ah. Oh, I got a husband like that, honey. That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, PD, I'll just have another JD, please.
Yeah, put this one on my bill.
Oh, it's very kind, very kind. So, Fancy, wasn't it? Ardent Fancy?
Yeah, Ardent Fancy.
Austin. Jane Austen. A pleasure to meet you.
Jane Austen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the wrestler? No way.
No, not like the wrestler. Why do people always say it's like the wrestler? God damn. Anyway, I might have a particular... My company is looking for good men like you. So, if you... I tell you what, why don't we just... Let's grab a booth and let's talk about it.
Sure.
Because let's face it, that company you're working for right now is an absolute shit show. So,
It is a shit show.
yeah, you don't need
Benefits are
that.
all.
We gotta stick together.
Yeah, sure.
There's this female figure in a leather jacket, sort of like almost like a pilot's jacket. She's got a bandana on, high grey hair. Looks a little bit like Kathy Bates. She leads you over to a booth to chat more about potential employment. We fade out on Vic. Lucky. Bad things happened in the infirmary. The wound got worse.
No.
Some kind of worm began eating at the flesh within it. And something had to be done fast. They took your leg. From the top of the thigh. And so, your military career was over. What does Lucky do after this? After a moment of recuperation? He is given compensation and there is pay. You know, the medical bills are all covered and everything. After a fairly good reports of his heroic actions from some of his fellow Marines.
Yeah, I know. Lucky made sure that when the story of all of this was told, it was, you know, he didn't want to play up his own role in it because, you know, he's a modest guy, really. He just wanted to do the best for everybody. But he knew by going out into the jungle, he would be a decoy. And, you know, there were 4 or 5 of these monsters chasing that truck they were all in. There were way more chasing Lucky, but he drew them off so the others could survive, and this is the price he paid. And so he gets, you know, I'm expecting a medal for this, to be honest. And the beautiful kind of moment where he's sort of wheeled up to receive his medal, and he stands and kind of on his crutches goes to get his medal. And with the help of some good prosthetics, I'm sure Isaac had a spare leg that could be borrowed.
He's given a fairly basic prosthetic to begin with. Armor sight only do so much for Lucky. And they certainly don't cure him of his addiction to Stimpaks.
Oh no!
So Lucky earns quite a lot of, you know, Lucky's quite well known. He's been doing this a while, and he can tell the stories. And somewhere between a barfly telling stories in dodgy pubs and someone going on a motivational speaking tour in the outer arse end ports of space, sort of crying into his booze at the end of the night. And occasionally you'd go into the room that he's stayed in and he'll have drawn things on the wall, and it'll be kind of runes and pictures of those monsters, and occasionally the monster eating a man in military uniform. But the man in military uniform doesn't really look like Frank. But it does, but it doesn't.
In his apartment, in this small, fairly smallish apartment.
Yeah, and in the various places he stays as he travels.
Yeah.
But I think there should be some joy, because, you know,
he is visited.
He's a hero.
He is
he's
visited.
A hero.
Yes, as far as the public know, he's a hero. And as he is visited one day. There's a sort of, when you see on the vid call, it's not a knock at the door, but you see a man there in a smart suit, wearing like a pin badge that looks like it's almost like an upside down pyramid. You know immediately this is the symbol of the Echelon Foundation, and they have come to see Lucky. Henderson is this man. That's what he tells you. And he tells Lucky, or Frank Day, as he calls him. He never calls him Lucky, he calls him Frank Day. That they know all about the stories of his heroics. He's a war hero. He's a military veteran with many combat missions. People look up to people like you, Mr. Day. People need a symbol in these tough and unforgiving times. We at Echelon believe that symbols are important. And stories are important. Don't you agree?
Go on.
We understand that armor sight did not necessarily... Well, you were not financially compensated in the way that you were ideally should be for a man of your stature. Is that correct?
I'm not arguing.
I work with a group of people who would like to change those circumstances for you. Now, this won't involve military service or combat, I'm afraid. That's not the sort of business that we're in. But what we do need is a figurehead for some of our... Well, let's just say some projects need more positive PR than negative. And from everything that I gather, you are a man who certainly knows how to spin. Is that true, Mr. Day?
Positivity is my middle name.
Well, and this figure just smiles, looking at you. And the last thing they say is, "Isn't that lucky?" So we fade out on that scene. We open up on a darker room. Archer, you are sat on a chair. And there's a uniformed figure in front of you. So, Corporal Archer, we have heard your tales of, well, this obelisk and these strange visions you've been having. Are the night terrors still continuing?
Oh, continuously.
I see. Well, you understand you can no longer continue with your service.
Yeah, I expected as much.
Well, what do you think you will do next, Mr. Archer? What else is there for you?
Oh, it's a very good question. Well, of course, it's still my love of science. The truth, for example, something I'm very interested in.
The truth. Interesting. So, tell me, and this figure pulls out a notebook, one of your notebooks, one of your many notebooks, and they pass it across the table towards you. What truth is there in this? What is in this notebook that Jackal would have had?
What's in the notebook? I don't know. Notes, I guess.
Notes. Has he written down some of his experiences? Has he sketched anything?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
the nightmares have been constant, by the way. You feel like you haven't slept in months.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, I've been jotting down various things from the nightmares and stuff. Like, yeah, I would have been drawing the creatures. I would have been drawing the big one. I would have been drawing the stone and the chamber that it was in and everything it was surrounded by.
And the figure points to like a scribble of this stone. So what do you believe this to be? So Archer, this crops up on many of these pages.
Oh yeah, I don't believe it to be anything. I don't have any idea what it could be. You said that I regaled you with tales of something. These are tales. These are my accounts of what happened. Just because you can't make sense of them doesn't mean they didn't happen.
I see. I thought we were getting somewhere, Archer. I really did. But it seems like, well, whatever we're doing isn't working. Perhaps we should have another talk tomorrow. And they sort of nod to a figure who steps up and gets you to rise from a chair and leads you out of the room. This cold, sterile room and a cold, sterile corridor. A long corridor in a place that is now your home, where every day you don't sleep and every day you are questioned about it and the answers aren't coming. but something is scratching at the back of your brain. The stone. What is it? The stone. You learned early not to keep saying the word stone, even though your tongue wants to say it all the time. But now, it seems like you're at a dead end, but you don't know how long for. This figure leads you into this room, shuts the door, and it's locked behind you. And the name, Malcolm Archer, is on the door. As you stare at your room within the sanitarium, and you think, if it's not going to get better, you're going to have to try and get out. That is the only way you can expose what's happening. What does, and I'm dropping this on him, Archer's room look like? It's a very simple room. It's dormant. It's not cold, and it's not. This isn't brutal surroundings. These are just simple surroundings.
No. I think it'll be like that really old, faded, so as if it's like 30 years old peach paint on the wall, of like with like a wooden chair and a desk, a bed, and maybe a cabinet and a sink in the corner with a mirror on it, and that's like it. Obviously, like no sharp edges or anything anywhere. They've taken everything that could potentially be a weapon away. And that's just kind of it, his life, and he just kind of Andy Dufresne's it the whole time, but without escaping. Like, yeah. And I think he comes to the conclusion that, if what he's interested in is in the truth, he's going to need to find it himself.
Make an intelligence check, please. Just for funsies.
All right. 28 success.
As you're there in the room, and you're just sort of looking around, and you're looking at the ceiling for what seems like the 100th, 200th time, it doesn't. You begin looking at the room in a different way, and you see the imperfections in some of it. They haven't looked after this room like they really should have, like some of the other people that are here. Your brain wants to say patient at one point, until they say no, the other Marines that were in here. And when you start to see some of these imperfections, you start to devise a potential escape plan. We fade out on that to white. Nothing but white. And Harper, soon after the events, what happened on Hostilis, you were deactivated. Everything was downloaded. That was the last you saw. Until all of a sudden your eyes open. For what seemed like the first time. And yes, I said eyes. As you blink, and you look around at this white room. And you glance around and you realise you can see out of both eyes. And you move your jaw slightly in your face. And it doesn't have the clicks that it had before. You glance down and what you see is an arm. A right arm. Sort of there. And at first you go to move it, but it's hard. It's hard to move it at first. It's sort of twitching a little bit. Until you hear a voice going, "Ah, you're awake, Harper. Welcome back." And you turn and you look at a figure. The only splash of colour in this white expanse is an older woman. Looks to be in her late 60s, early 70s. Shoulder length grey hair. She's got like a suit, a trouser suit. Very well tailored, very expensive, very sleek. It's kind of like a ultramarine colour. She looks very well dressed. She's human. That's the one thing you clock immediately. She's human. And she smiles at you. How do you feel?
Like I knew.
Ah, yes. Yes, I'm sure you would think that. As you can see, things are a little bit different from the last time you were online. You did sterling work before. We're very proud of you, Harper, and all that you achieved. And so we felt that you were due an upgrade for all of that hard work. And she taps what looks like it looks like a white wall, but she seems to tap something like nothingness. But as she taps it, a panel in the room turns, and you can see a mirror.
Oh no.
What does the new Harper look like?
Oh, I don't know. Slightly taller.
Yeah.
I'd say quite androgynous. Probably with like, I'm not sure. Quite utilitarian kind of hair. And kind of that. She always had that uncanny valley look to her face, and she still kind of has that, but in a more kind of like aesthetically pleasing way. It's almost as if you can't really get a grasp on what she is when you look at her, rather than she looks fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you sort of take that in and you lift your arm up, everything moves smoother, more natural. One thing you do look at your face, and you notice the skin is different. The skin is definitely a complexion that's a little more human in a way. And your eyes are no longer the android-like eyes. If you could do me a favour for a moment, Harper, could you just... she clicks her fingers. Could you just blink for me a few times? I just want to check something. As you blink, you're looking in the mirror, and as you blink, and every time you blink, there's a sort of there's a sort of shutter-like noise, and your eyes change colour. Just wonderful. Inside your head, you hear a small boop, boop, like a setting is being changed. Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm going to ask you again. How do you feel? And when she says that, it suddenly dawns on you. Everything about this room feels different. The temperature. You can feel temperature in a way you never felt before. And there's a... How would you describe it? How does Harper feel about being woken up?
I think she feels anxious for the first time. And a little bit like, oh no.
Yeah.
What can I remember? This might be
Harper,
a bad
darling, calm down.
situation.
Breathe, Harper, breathe. Look at me. And suddenly you begin to... There's a... Harper, it shouldn't happen, but is that panic? Are you panicking? It's like... But there's a moment where she calms you down. I see. This is a good sign, Harper. This is wonderful. It means that all the systems are working. Okay? You are very special to us, Harper. You're very special to me. After everything you did, you're exactly the kind of synthetic that we need. These are dangerous times we are living in, Harper. And we need to be ahead of everyone. In more ways than you could possibly imagine. But I won't bore you with tales of that now. And she taps something else, and a little a panel opens up, and there's 2 glasses of sparkling wine. Please, tell me, have a sip of this. How does it taste?
He's gonna take a sip, and
Yeah.
I go.
Oh yes, it's rather vile. But you
Get
get.
up my nose.
But calm down, my dear. There's the soft hand on your shoulder. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Perhaps moving to alcohol so soon was baby steps. We should take baby steps. We should start with maybe some soft foods, perhaps. But don't worry. There's much for us to go through, Harper. And don't worry. I'll be with you every step of the way. She holds your hand. And when you're looking at her and you're trying to devise who is this person, there's only one word that keeps echoing in your brain over and over. Mother. As this woman looks at you with a big smile, we're going to do important work together, Harper. Important work. And as we pan out on the new Harper, that is where we're going to end Endangered Species. Thank you for joining us for this.
Oh my god!
This crazy.
We can't stop now.
This crazy action-packed step into the safe space universe.
Takeover.
Yeah. The safe space universe just got a little bit bigger these past few weeks.
Wow.
We've got to bring the band
That's
back
crazy.
together.
Well, we'll see. We'll see where these characters are. They're on very different trajectories now. So maybe I'll message the players offline to sort of see. Well, let's see where they are in the world. You never know when you might see these people again. It's going to be very, very
Harper's had a
interesting.
glow up, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, thank you so much for watching this story, and thank you so much for my players for this. Amazing. This was so much fun. This was tense. I didn't kill any of you, and
Wow.
all I'm doing is learning with each session that I'm gonna have to be harsher. So
Vince, I was trying to die this
I
episode.
know, and they
Like,
saved you, man. They saved you.
Slammed on the brakes.
Selfish
No,
bastards.
no.
Didn't even get rid of any NPCs.
I know,
jeez.
I know you saved them, which could affect the world going forward. Who knows?
I will say there was a point when you said, "Oh yeah, so the truck can hold 4 people and the trailer can hold 4 people," and I'm like, "Hang on, there's 9 of us. If Lucky had been there, there would have been 9 people and Isaac. Well,
I was planning for that. I was maybe gonna get somebody some roller skates and some rope.
Yeah.
Luckily, we never had to go down that path.
No, and you
Oh,
made
thank
you
God.
made it out, and thank you for.
I was
playing
working on my
that.
sacrificial NPC list,
Yes,
so you know.
yes,
Mission
yes,
success.
Yes, I'm just gonna have to learn from my mistakes, but
Yeah.
this hasn't been a mistake. This has been amazing fun. Thank you very much for joining
Oh,
us.
thank you, Vince.
Players,
Thank you.
my wonderful, wonderful players, as we start this outro for the last time. Where can people find you online, etc.? Lizzie.
Assorted social medias at Lizzie Boyle says.
Sarah.
Again, assorted social medias. Milmo Comics. So that's MILMO Comics, all one word, all lowercase.
Wonderful. She's got to just move slightly over to the side because
Oh,
you're going to see.
sorry.
There she is.
Hello. Do you want me
Yeah.
to say that again?
No, you can do it again. No. This is all one take. This is like a play, darling. But yes, go follow her. Elliot, where can people find you?
On just YouTube, Eliot Red, ELIOT. Red.
Red. Go forth and follow his music. Matt.
You can find me on Twitter at able_albatross, which could also be a Vigorous Blouse alias if you think about it.
Or Ardent Fancy.
Or you can find me at matt.troy on Instagram. I think that's set to close, so if you want to follow me, drop me a message and I'll let you in.
Awesome. You can find me on social media at Jester Diablo. You can find more of this show at Safe Space RPG and on this YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this, let us know what you thought in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Big shout out to the music from Tabletop Audio that's been playing in the background of all of these and heightening the tension. Amazing stuff. Follow them on Patreon and find them online. There's like 10 minutes audios that you can put on loop. Brilliant stuff. And yes, and to Tuesday Night Games, thank you very much for creating this fun Mothership RPG. Go follow them at Mothership RPG. And yes, we will see you next time. Who knows? Well, season 2 of Safe Space is going to be coming fairly soon. So another corner of space, more panic, more death, and who knows? Who knows? Maybe one of these characters might appear again in that campaign one day. You never know. But for the last time, I can't even say who are the endangered species, because I think we all know.
It's not us anymore.
It's not them. I tried, viewers. I tried.
It's some of them. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
fine, but some of them are pretty endangered.
I feel pretty endangered. Yeah.
Yeah. But while he figures out how to escape, for the last time, stay safe, everyone. Bye.
Bye.